Oh, welcome in. It's Saturday night, and we are here at SUZUKA for the Duo Series Season 4. Would you believe it? And this is round 1 tonight, and you have myself, Matt Madden, in the commentary box. But it's not just me. We have someone who is allegedly British royalty, someone who has come over the ocean specially to commentate on your stream, not just tonight, but once a week, gracing us with his presence. Tonight is Cam Thistlethwaite.
I'm not sure who you were building up and alluding to, but you're going to have to be stuck with me, unfortunately. And yes, building me up very well through the the pain smile I can see behind the mic for you, Matt. I'm really sorry to hear. But qualifying is coming. We do apologize. We weren't able to bring you quality. We've kind of been a little bit tight-fisted, right? Not tight-fisted, but we're fishing for commentators. If you want to do commentate, come join us. But yes, we're here. We're you're Matt Madden. I'm Cameron Thistlethwaite. We got lovely Glenn on the cams as well, and great to bring the coverage of 3 hours of SUZUKA for duos, ever popular duos.
Yeah, such a good little series, and what a track. I mean, GT3's on ice, just like Disney brings every single one of their musicals to you. SUZUKA brings you racing on the slipperiest surface known to rubber tires. It doesn't matter how planted your car is, how much downforce you use, how good you are, or how planted you think your setup is. This track will teach you that you can slide laterally at pretty much any speed, especially at turns 130R. And, well, the entirety of the first sector. It's a bit of an interesting track, and I think one thing that I'm really looking forward to tonight, Cam, is watching the discrepancy and the difference as to how these drivers handle this. We're going to have a pretty big difference between our fastest drivers. You can already see right at the top there is a Christopher Cooley driving in car 667 in the Lexus, which will be very interesting to see him drive that. He, picked that up just the other day, has a minus 30 handicap, which I'm sure, I reckon everyone out there would agree that, Dink Donk, aka Chris Cooley, he needs all the help he can get, particularly here. But it's going to be interesting seeing him navigate this track and the slippy slidiness of SUZUKA versus some of our more amateur drivers in the field.
Yeah, it's going to say Cooley with a minus 30. Oh, that stings a bit. But to be fair, there's a lot of people there that also do have the same 30. It's obviously per car, not per driver. Otherwise, we'd probably make Cooley into Jabba the Hutt with the success ballast we'd throw at him. But interesting to see that if you few quick drivers out there like Lucas Keys are also kind of struggling. He was not to throw him under the bus, but he was also commenting on the kind of lack of overall grip out there. It's SUZUKA's been toned down quite a bit. I remember from early days ACC, it used to be a bit of a very, very grippy track, but it sounds like no more. But Lexus doing very well. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, 6 Lexuses, a smattering of Nissan GTRs as well, for good measure. The BOP is really showing its favourites right now. But enough Bob talk. Great to see as well, though, the Mustang of Aiden Squires and Kafil Slade there in the Lamborghini as well. Rob Underwood sandbagging in silver as well up there in P4. But nevertheless, very well done to all those gents up there.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting to hear the history of this, knowing that at one stage in time, this was a very different track. There's so many little things that they can tweak in, the back end of the game and the way that they build it and structure it. So it's really cool to know that they've actually done a bit of adjustment to it. But you did allude to it earlier. ACC is very good at adjusting certain things and not very good at adjusting others. So you're going to have both myself and my brother Dan joining in the commentary box tonight as we have cooked the entry list. We've already done the plead for other commentators out there, but I also urge you to remember, driver 1 must join first in ACC, lest you break your own entry list. But that means tonight you're going to have a few commentators bouncing around, and that is good. And we're a minute and 46 seconds away from kicking off this race. Cam, tell us a little bit about your team, your car, and your sort of overall approach to this evening.
I don't want to get too technical on you, but it's like we got it's got a steering wheel, 4 wheels with these black things around them called Pirellis, and there's some squidgy bits between the seat and the wheel as well, in the form of me and the ever so Scott Rochford Anialik and there, and I haven't actually taken note where he's actually qualified. There we go, in P22. Unfortunately, given the pro class, because someone thinks I'm a pro, I don't know how to come to that conclusion. But yes, I'll be getting in after my commentary stint, and it's very nice to invite me. I have to admit, I've had to put a clamp on my LMP3 for LMU, just so I come here and race these tin tops. But yes, yeah, it's very interesting. And I'm talking all over these liveries, fantastic liveries, especially the MRT one there in the form of Nippers, and I believe I forget his teammate
is Nippers' partner this time. So Nippers is got a bit rogue and breaking out of the usual MRT Milk Racing Team lineup for something different. Is this a pair of hooves on the Porsche to the right? I like TI Speedworks. It's like very classic looking livery. What is going on there? I recognise that little cat face anyway. This must be Bartoletti there. Oh no, so Thurcolini in that one?
I think it's Griffiths. Griffiths car.
Yeah, Blake. My goodness, it's a new one for her. No, so we've got the classic Porsche guys. We know that
Bentley. One. The gap there, someone's clearly, unfortunately disappeared, sadly.
Yep.
But
maybe another entry list issue. Who knows?
Yeah. I reckon Glenn gave you a pair of cards, and we're sorry, you're gonna have to do commentary.
Lovely.
Kind of thing. And got all these Lexus with their default livery. It's gonna be really good to commentate on the start of the race.
Yeah, well, I don't think too many people. Well, there was an earlier threat thrown out of a fluoro green livery. If you didn't submit one, would have been awesome to see if you bright as fluoro cars out there. It would have been very funny. But here we have Carl Johnson in a very nice looking, very schmick looking GTR.
Yes, Carl, very quick, very, very quick. He's kind of our rival because he's, he makes up the pro part of that car, obviously with Picky as well. Still fresh off the heels of their Bathurst, top 5 or something ridiculous that they got? I can't remember. Bloody hell. Those guys. What can I say? Surprised they weren't, I was looking for a Bentley, and that's why I couldn't find them initially when I jumped in today. But no, they're opting for the GTR, also a very strong car. And obviously, this is duos, 4 rounds for the season, starting off here in Suzuka, Japan. I say that because someone in the audiobook for a racing driver's autobiography said Suzuka. Clearly, someone who doesn't do motorsports, so that's on my brain now. But we got Nordschleifer as well later in April. I think the 11th. Yep, 2 weeks, 11th, and then on the 25th of April, followed by Masano, and 9th of May to make up Kailami, and I imagine that leaves a space to do another season of duos later in the year, potentially. Not going to jump too far ahead, but should be a good one, that's for sure.
There we go, Wonder in the back. If you ain't, is that a did that say if you ain't last, you're first? If you ain't first, you're last? Was that the old Ricky Bobby reference, perhaps?
I think it's something like that. I dare say that I don't think I've actually watched that movie, or it's been so long I can't remember it.
As a race fan, that shocks me, Mr. Thistlewhite.
Not unnecessarily NASCAR. I've seen Days of Thunder. I can say that one for sure. But yes, I believe that's the Will Ferrell movie. That's I can remember.
Yeah, he's got a few out there, a few goodies. Mate, as we're coming around, this is such an awesome track to race at. Very difficult little first sector to commentate on, as well as you go through the aptly named first turn into 3, 4, 5s, 6, 7, 8, all part of the S curves before Dunlop. But you are going to talk us through race start as we come through. We've just been through the Casino Triangle, and then we're going to get to race start. So take us away, Mr. Thistlewhite.
Yep, and it's going to be 5 red lights, as they say in F1, but it's going to be a late hole because the timing line's a bit further down the straight. But it's going to be a short run and a blast with George Sacanius. No, not on pole, but the Lexus, I should say, of Chris Keeley right ahead. It's already green and a good start there, potentially by Aiden Squires, and going to draw alongside with the Lamborghini up the inside, potentially going to try and get that P2, but not able to get it done. The Lexus still holds up the first place there in the form of Chris Keeley. Dario Bartoletti in that Will Ferrell livery, just defending there from Pete. I believe Pete Viney in the Porsche just behind him, as he is behind Carl Johnson in the black and white GTR just up ahead. A couple of default livery Lexus up ahead as well, so potentially I think Underwood and Keys may have gone pretty close, or side by side on track at least, but not so. But GTR there as well, obviously Lewis Hamilton doing a good job. Looks like he's gone past Underwood potentially at the start, with Lucas Keys also maybe on the back, having a look into Degner 1. Obviously not able to get it done. Very tricky at this part of the track, but into Degner 2 as we go to a little short burst under the track, as you can see there, for this unique figure 8 racetrack, and into the hairpin. Looking pretty okay. I didn't see any yellows, no potential yellow flags. Potentially GTR and the Lexus going side by side through the hairpin, I believe, of Liam Hamilton and Rob Underwood, and potentially Underwood going to try and get the move back, but not able to get it done. Liam Hamilton going to hold off P4 for now, with Lucas Keys right behind him as well. So really Lucas got to want to get past surely right, Underwood ASAP, and it goes a little bit wide for the first part spoon curve, but not able to get his Lexus up the inside of his fellow Lexus compatriot. But they're going to have a run down now to 130R, the back strip, as we go across that other piece of track that we saw just before Degner 1, and the glorious figure 8 track. And but yeah, Mitch Hobbs doing the start of this race, defending from Aiden Squires for P1 and P2, but a pretty clean start overall, Matt. No yellows that I've seen so far. Oh, potentially, but Liam Hamilton's up at the Casio triangle. He has to cut across. Who knows who had the right of way in the entry, but it's going to be side by side through the last curve, and there's going to be a nice short burst down to T1. Oh, Matt, who's going to get this wrong? The GTR's pulling ahead, but the Lexus has the slightest bit of overlap. Is he going to close the door on him? I think so. No, he doesn't. He leaves in space, but he's going to run himself out wide, and the Lexus is going to be on the inside with a nose ahead for turn 2, and potentially Lucas Keys now going to come through and 2 by 2 into the second corner, but Lucas Keys not able to get it done. But Rod Underwood going to be up into P4 ahead of Liam Hamilton after contact at the Casio triangle, Matt.
Such a perfect example of just where the grip is and, well, where it isn't on this track. We saw Liam Hamilton pull alongside his little buddy in the GTR there, but could not find any grip on the outside of that turn, and hence had to concede the position to Rob Underwood there in the Lexus. We're seeing, as you said, all these Lexus compatriots. We've almost got Lexi, I think, is the correct plural, perhaps. But we're seeing a fair bit of action going on here up the front. Keen to get a look through, Glenn, on the cameras as well in the back of the field, see what's happening up there. We reckon, based on what I saw of the qualifying, I reckon there's going to be a few position changes, as some drivers only got a 1 or 2 valid laps in. And obviously I'm very biased. He is only going to drive most likely an hour and a half of this race, unless he pulls a rabbit out of a hat, or perhaps a hat out of a rabbit at this stage. But my younger brother Dan Madden up the back there could produce something a little bit special. But we're on board with my man Ben Simpson at the moment, managing to hold in a pretty good little position here, sitting 21st, not too far off where he qualified, which is good, driving nice and consistently. But we're up here with Breno Ellis, getting very, very close and tight to the back of Spenceley there. He's going to have the inside run here, which is ideally the line you kind of want to be on. You got to watch that understeer as you go wide out, as we see the Porsche guys, Porsche in the background there, just run wide off 130R. But coming into an incorrectly labelled it Casino Triangle before, maybe my mind was elsewhere. Freudian slip, but it is actually Casio Triangle. That devilish little chicane that brings you back around to the main straight here. You have to munch a lot of curb there, as we've seen all of those drivers do. We're on board with Blake Griffiths here. Amazing woman. Thank you so much for all of the time and effort, Blake, that you put into running commentary for OOR for the last little while. You are free as a bird now and free to race, and she is doing just that in an exceptionally cool black and white looking Porsche. Cam, I'm a bit of a fan of this one.
Yep. Oh,
Brief
the
glitch,
jinx.
brief glitch there. I think we're okay.
But yeah, as a bit of a livery aficionado myself, I do approve of that one. Sort of a, a la the a lot of curb for some of these boats. Oh, and Carlos taking it to another level as he usually does in the black and white Nissan. But yeah, Blake. It's kind of in the black and white livery, kind of akin to obviously the current day Cadillac as well, which is starting to warm on me, I have to say. But Aiden Squire is really giving Mitch Hobbs a lot to think about right now. He's got Stephen Ty right behind him as well in the Lamborghini, ready to pounce if there are any issues. I imagine that contact with Liam Hamilton and Rob Underwood that we saw on the first lap may have gone to the stewards, and it looks like that has reversed since that we last saw them as well. The GTR is back ahead, whether that was potentially a stewards, in time. Oh, catching the curb, that spoon curb. The rear going for a little bit of a slide, but he catches it all up, but does go wide. But he does have enough of a gap to Rob Underwood and Lucas Keys as well. I'm sure Lucas is going to get very frustrated, stuck behind a fellow Lexus. It is no fun being stuck behind the same car that you have. You're all fast in the same parts necessarily when it comes to the machinery, but it's not going to be ideal for Lucas, and he'll want to get past. He's having a look into the Casio Triangle, but not able to get anything done. I will say I did know that car 116, I believe, that was Vinton and Nippers, the GTR we saw. I did see was in the pit lane at the end of the first lap, and was in there for a very, very long time. Replay.
We're going to get a bit of a replay coming up to see what happens.
Oh, speaking of devil, I knew it was coming. Thank you very much to Glenn. I think this car RTG. Oh, he hits the back of Sicanius. I was going to say Sicanius. Oh no! Oh, I thought that was the Pidgey car, but that's Roy Atkins' car. Unfortunately, does find the barrier. It's don't find that barrier too often, and unfortunately, circumstances like that can result in it. So, I'm guessing this car came into the pits at the end of the first lap to change a few more things, so that's unfortunate. They were in there for a long time, but they are back going again. You can see them on the track map, kind of a little bit in their in their own world right now. But we go back to Liam Hamilton, still ahead of Rob Underwood and Lucas Keys right now, with that little, that trio at the front, still kind of having a go at it.
It's funny watching the the different types of cars that we have here, from the front engine to the mid engine, sailing through Degna 1, that first fast right-hander. These boatier front engine larger cars tend to actually just slide laterally all the way through that turn. Watching Chris Cooley earlier in the week do some laps in this, he actually broke into the 157s. Would you believe it? In the Lexus, and it was just thrown the entire way through Degna 1 and 2, which is awesome to see. But Mitch Hobbs, late entrant into this series, was signed up allegedly with his consent this afternoon by Chris
I reckon there's been some blackmail to get Hobbsy back driving behind ACC. That's a bit of a rare sight these days. In a Lexus, of all things. He's getting a lot of practice in Rocket League, I have to say, for the last few nights, so maybe that's what he was preparing for. But Aiden getting very wide on the exit, and looks like the Lamborghini there, Stephen Ty, is starting to fall a little bit back towards Liam Hamilton, so may have had a little bit moment of this lap around, but Aiden's gonna, I'm sure, start to run out of patience. But the Lexus, we've seen it, it's top of the speed charts pretty much here at Suzuka. Not too unsurprisingly, it doesn't have a much tempo, but it does have fastest lap. But Liam Hamilton does get it back as well. But Aiden's gonna want to make a move surely soon.
A good observation. I only know the two cars that were sort of around me at the time, but the Lexus hits 6 kilometers an hour faster on average on every straight on this track than what the Ferrari does. Do with that information what you will. We've got a bit of an interesting series coming up while we're sort of settling into this race with 2 hours and 51 minutes to go, just to give Cam and I some time to breathe and watch the racing in front of us. We've actually got a pretty good little series coming around with a few tracks that aren't often seen for the endurance format. So we've got, obviously, Suzuka, well-loved track in OOR, and obviously, quite frequently driven. But next up is actually going to be the full Nordschleifer. Nothing other than 8 minutes a lap for 3 hours straight. Are you looking forward to that one, Cam, or is that making you a bit nervous?
I'm not going to lie, it's making me a bit nervous because I haven't really. I love the track, but when I drove it actually in a competitive multiplayer race, there's 2 Pidgey cars. Oh, sorry, you forget you told me that. I thought you just guys you duplicate yourself for a second there, but I do forget you have both.
Control C, Control V, my man.
Yeah,
there are 2 of us back there, and adding to the confusion, there's also Rob Roy Racing with Roy Ankin behind the wheel. sitting right behind Dan, who is also right behind Benny Simpson. We've got a little train of fezzes there. We've got 5 in a row. I feel like I've heard of that nursery rhyme. But here you got Dan. Allegedly, he's considering driving 3 hours.
Yeah, desperate Dan here. I was going to say 2 cars, 3 drivers. Like right now, it's and Roy Atkin didn't help things being in not too dissimilar color scheme if you squint, things. But Ben Simpson right now, kind of just doing everything he can while he's got your younger bro going, and looks like Roy's going to send it up the inside into the catcher triangle. Looks like he gets it stopped and a big hop in the curve, and Dan gives him the space.
Dan gets it done. Well done.
Well done indeed.
Defensive maneuver there from Danzo. That's a pretty good effort.
But
here,
Roy didn't get it done. Couldn't get it done.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting, Matt, as I reckon. So Ben Simpson, very, very, clean, concise, accurate driver. But Dan definitely has him for pace. But I love these moments in racing.
Oh, look what you've done. He's got us and out wide into the different postcard.
There's a braking marker there somewhere, Mr. Simpson.
Oh, Roy's got to try and come through as well. Oh, does you imagine? The ACC replay cams are not helping us anymore. It's going to be side by side through the S's right now. They're still going side by side on the exit of the final S's and the run up the hill. And that's Hayden Marsh in the red Ferrari. Oh, it's so close. And there is contact, a little bit of a rub. Roy gets a sideways moment, but there's Alba Pidgey Ferrari checks up. But Roy is going to have it run around the outside, still alongside for Degner 1. And I don't think Pidgey Car's going to make it. No, he doesn't. And Hayden Marsh going to try and come through in the Borderlands Ferrari as well. Gets it up the inside.
Oh, no, there's contact.
Oh, no. When it rains, it pours for Ben Simpson, and he's going to lose out ultimately. Maybe gotten a little bit of a head check. Oh, we got a yellow car up ahead. Car 24 on the exit.
Oh, that's a bad one. Bad one of the hairpin. Oh, Gormley gets going. Gormley. George Sicanius was involved in that in the blue and black Lexus. There you go. And that car already had its tribulations on the first lap as well, being caught up in that incident with the 116 car, which does get a penalty, a 10-second penalty for Matt Nipris. Yeah, interesting. I can almost see it without having seen the replay. I almost know exactly what happened.
Got a premonition.
Aptly named hairpin. Such a good spot for a bit of just looking for any kind of overdrive you can get out of the corner. Is very easy to oversteer and head into that inside fence and possibly collect another car with you. So we just see a 15-second penalty come through for Gallagher, car 309, for causing a collision on lap 3. But we're on board now
for them as well.
Yeah. We're going to be a little bit surprised that this replay comes through these sweet nothings that Glenn is, whispering into our ears. We're going to get this up for you. See how close I was. Whoa. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Ah. There's just some
Oh, don't get just a small little me. Fancy seeing you here.
Oh, goodness gracious. It's like watching 2 teenagers go on their first date. No one knows who to pay for the check. This is getting a bit awkward between the two of them. They just left looking at each other at the end of the night. No one knows what to do or how to kiss each other. But they move on out of their hairpin, and we are... There we go. There's the spin from Gormley.
Yeah. There isn't much TC in the Lexus, and it's on and off pretty much at lower settings, and I think both of them have found out that way. I'm quite surprised in a way. It looks like they've just basically done a bit of a clutch kick and they've spun themselves around. But live and learn, and now they know where the limit is for the race. But I have to say it was both weird. I was looking at the HUD as well. They both didn't go to TC off, so it was just literally the TC was just like, oh, that's it. You want to go full throttle? Here's all the power you want, and unfortunately catching both of them out, but they're still going. I don't think any of them got damaged from that, but I think they're going. I think they can go all right. John Gormley, P24 right now, just ahead of Ben Simpson, which we could made a little bit montage out of. Unfortunately, his last couple of laps right now, but he's still in the race, still clean car, and still 2 hours and 45 minutes to go.
So we come through 130R. From what I've seen, the Lexi struggle with this corner more than most others. Very difficult to keep it on the track and gripped up if you use a setup that works for the rest of the track. But speaking of someone that is making his car and setup work for him, is Mitchell Hobbs here in the Hobbsy's Back Baby entry from team Have You Tried the Lexus? As these two boys, Chris Cooley and Hobbsy, learn their way around a new car. They say you can't teach old dogs new tricks, but here we are as Mitch Hobbs is about to look at defending really close to the inside of Degner 1 as Aiden Squires look for a move around the outside. Not the place to do it, Squirrels. You're going to have to wait for another opportunity, but it does seem like up into Dunlop Corner is Mitchell Hobbs' weakest point of the track at the moment in the Lexus. Possibly new car problems, new car who dis, says Mitchell Hobbs. With the times, Gen Z individual. So it could be Gen Alpha, actually, now that I come to think about it. We've got 2 Gen Alphas at the front, possibly. Where does Gen Alpha cut off, Cam? We know?
I think of the TV show right now when you start talking about that. I don't really know. I'm the last person to ask. And me and Hobbsy kind of share the sentiment that we're older for our age. We're kind of we're older against our time. But the Mustang, Squires has got a lot more pace and downforce, and generally just a lot better through the S's. Whether it's the car, but it's a lot of it mainly being to the car. And the Lexus is obviously really only great once you just kind of give it a straight and give it a bit of a hoof. But those tires are surely going to be starting to struggle a little bit. After a season in sprints with the Lexus, it is struggling, and the Mustang is not what it used to be with a almost pretty much 20% restrictor and 19%. It is unfortunately got no hope against the Lexus, especially down the straight, and only really keeping up with it in the slipstream. But through the S's, he's got so much more pace and downforce in the Mustang. Not the necessarily most sharpest car in the corners, but in comparison to the Lexus, pretty damn good. But we'll see what the Lexus can do in terms of its longevity, because the tires do take a bit of a hard time. And obviously dependent on the setup. And interesting to note that Stephen Tai one has a 5-second penalty, but has also obviously lost out to Liam Hamilton, who is holding the fastest lap right now. And just in the background for the blue and green Nissan GTR of Skillishu Racing, and Lucas Keys has also displaced Rob Underwood and is only 0.3 of a second behind Stephen Tai as well. So that's surely going to arrive on station very, very quickly. So Aiden really needs to get this move done. The sooner he gets it done, the sooner he doesn't have to worry about the heat potentially from behind. And there's just nowhere to go when it's just the Lexus hits its line and hits its marks, as the Lexus is going to power down all the way to Spoon Corner right now, and nothing that Aiden can do about it. He tried his best on the exit of on the outside of Degner 1, but unfortunately he tried to hold it around the outside, but it was unfortunately never going to work. But he just had to try at least something to unsettle the Lexus. But the problem is now he's got Liam Hamilton right behind him, so any move like that was potentially going to lose him a place.
Correct. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door is Liam Hamilton, car 888, looking for a way into top 2 as they continue to battle it out. I've also got a bit of an update for you. Turns out Generation Alpha is born from 2010 onwards, which means that Hobbsy, being older than 14 years old, is definitely a Gen Z. Just wanted to circle back and correct that. Yeah, blame me, the millennial. I got no idea who's what, where. But the interesting thing that Google AI is informing me of is that screen use began as a soothing distraction for this generation and is now an educational tool, making them more reliant on digital platforms for interaction. That is the only tooltip you're going to get on Gen Alpha from this point forward. We're back to the racing as we sit on board here. The purple lap has now shifted over to Lucas Keys, the man of the moment. Car 72 in the Lexus there has now got the purple lap under the belt, followed by Stevie Tai. Car 8 has a 5-second penalty as well. The stewards passing us little post-it notes under the table, letting us know that 5-second penalty is actually due to forcing a driver wide to gain a position where there was not sufficient overlap at the turn-in point. I think that is a really, really nice way of saying it could have been a dive bomb. But who knows, we might be able to get a replay on that later, but at the moment we're just watching Lucas Keys sail up the field, looking to make up as much time as possible. Keep an eye on that gap. He is 2.221 seconds behind Liam Hamilton. We will keep an eye as we continue to race. But what else are you seeing through the field, Cam?
I kind of am guiltily been looking at the top five still, but yeah, interesting that penalty for Stephen Ty. I was wondering who that one was necessarily with. I'm guessing in the early parts of the lap, but yeah, Liam Hamilton now in that boat as well. That he's going to have to try and do something ASAP before Lucas arrives on the scene. He looks like Lucas didn't actually suffer too much getting past Stephen Ty, I reckon. Unfortunately, with the Lambo being famously crap down the straights and the Lexus being famously OP down the straights, you can add one and add two and get pretty sound free out of that one. But yeah, it looks like I think at this point Aiden's going to have to rely on getting the slipstream from the Lexus just to save himself from the Nissan GTR as the Nissan really closes up the brakes into the Casio Triangle. We'll see how their exits are through this pretty tricky corner if you don't get the line right through the imaginatively named last curve, the name. But yeah, the GTR not getting the exit it would like, and Aiden getting the exit he would like, but the problem is he's going to run out of puff because the Lexus is just going to say add it sayonara into turn one, and through the S's, nothing you can do unless that Lexus will make a mistake up front. But we'll be interested to see how Lucas tackles this one. Just to shout out as Lucas, I think they obviously didn't really get the lap together in quali. I believe he is racing doing this race with potentially Patrick Johnson, with his teammate, and they're all coming hot off doing the Sebring 12-hour with Mr. Tim Gobe currently right now. So they're kind of one race isn't enough. You have to do two at the same time for some of these guys. Talk about overstimulation.
Yeah, well played. Just a quick note as I'm looking down through the leaderboard. Charidos, car number 14 in the Aston, has shot up the leaderboard. I have no idea where he started, but he was only less than 0.1 of a second ahead of Madden and Gormley. So the fact that he's shot up all the way to 9th indicates that he might be on a bit of a heater. Incredible stuff from him early on. He's also sitting P1 in Pro-Am. Great driver is Charidos, very aggressive, really gets stuck in to the the racing side, particularly on the competitive edge. He likes to drive around others, he likes to push the nose in, and he likes to really drive home the point that he is quick and he's going to own that space. So driving in the bright red, or the maroon red, really their little thing. I actually just had Hams to point out that 667 was reserved for safety car in OOR. I think what has happened here is that Chris Cooley has seen an opportunity to make fun of that old 6-7 thing that I really still don't understand. I'm sure I just ticked a bingo box as well for Jaden.
Honestly, you can get away with saying it because I unfortunately heard Jensen Button say it while watching qualifying live on telly. I was like, we've hit a new freaking low right now.
It doesn't matter how many times it's explained to me, I still really don't understand it as we watch a car go wide off the back there. That looked to be the BMW of Breno Ellis off in the background there. But we are in a nice little train of an Aston followed by another Aston, Beamer, Fezzer, Porsche, Fezzer. It's almost like a little Fezzer suit back here in the back end of the pack. It's kind of interesting actually, Cam, that we've got quite a few Ferraris back there. Wonder if it's a bit of a safer choice here, perhaps. Ferrari is a very well-rounded, very sensible car that isn't always trying to kill you. Now, it is sometimes, but it's not always out for blood, I find.
Yeah, it's interesting. I like to think everyone, with the exception of the top 8, with a few exceptions in that, is actually going to maybe run the same car for the whole of duos. And you can see the top 8 basically being the bot tourists, in my opinion, right now, who are just going to buy a new car for every race, depending on what's fastest. But that's them's the rules. That's them's there's no rule to say you can't do it. So that's how it is. But yeah, these guys are all kind of trying to bunch up. But Ferrari, we had to back out. Luca Johnson had to back out as Breno cut back down, potentially going a little bit wide as he's trying to put the pressure on Craig Gallagher in the 309. Must be quite frustrating given that car has got a penalty as well, but he's not obliged to get out of the way and say, come on through, sir. But yeah, Ferrari, I've only really driven it once. I like a bit of a left field option, and yeah, it's a car for me. It's a car. I'm driving the Aston, a car that I've, despite 3,500 hours, I've never driven before as well. Not even until I've got to jump in it because I wasn't really, haven't really done any prep for this race either. But, Aston, famously safe pair of hands as well. And, Aston, BMW can't comment on really, to be honest. And, so not too bad. Seeing a few yellows down the field. But interesting to Brian Ellis, he is further down because his teammate did good quality. I'm not familiar with his teammate, and I'm going to butcher your name. I do apologize if you watched this back, but Sionag Fangus. I do apologize if I have probably butchered your name, but obviously not the same pace that Breno, so hence why Breno is kind of having to scythe through the field right now to get back to somewhere near his pace. Oh, a very damaged Porsche coming into the pits. I did see there was a yellow further down the field. I think that is the Price Davis car. No, it's not the Price Davis car. It's the Joe Spenceley car. I did see Price Davis, the number 3 car, was also yellowed at the start, just around Spoon Corner. That last lap, so potentially maybe something coming together between those two drivers. Spenceley in the box with quite significant front damage to the front of his Porsche.
Yeah, that's not a good little look for good old Spence there. So
I'm not an aerodynamicist, but
no, something could fit a chicken in there. Something.
Oh goodness. Shout out to Mr. Furcalini right now. Furcalini tonight.
It's a bit like, I don't know.
He's a bit of a staple.
Have you ever seen that? There's a group on Facebook called Dull Men's Club or Dull Men's Group or something, and what they do is they actually people just post about dull things, whether it's an interesting handle on a tap or maybe an interestingly placed cupboard door, but they always provide a banana for size. So I wonder whether the chicken is a good reference for our friend Furcalini. It's a good reference. Everyone pretty much knows exactly how big a bachelor's handbag or a roast chook, if you're of that persuasion, is. It's a good little
bachelor's handbag. I've not heard that one. That's classic. That's great.
Heard it called a bachelor's handbag. It is very finely known to me as a bachelor's handbag. We're gonna have a look at what happened.
Glenn's like, can I play this bloody replay already? He's waiting for us to get our anecdote out of the way. Oh, the bounce on the curb.
Oh, he almost held it too. Oh, straight in front of another car. That was close.
That was Dan, I think, potentially.
Yeah, Dan almost got collected there by the Porsche guys. Joe Spenceley, a very hairy moment at 130R. No idea what the R stands for because it is a left-hand turn.
Completely missed the fact that now Lucas Keys is per P3 as well in all of that. Not too sure when that happened, before or after the replay, but he's got to run up the Dunlop curve right now, and he's going to be in the same place that Aiden Squires found himself on the Lexus, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to work out on the outside. He knows that he tucks back in as Aiden just keeps it in track limits, and pretty brutal track for track limits, so they all need to be careful out there, but Lucas Keys on the man on the move right now, right behind. Is he going to send it into the hairpin? No, he's not, but GTR might potentially, and Lucas has to get out the way and let the GTR come through. Good awareness, but the GTR's not going to get the exit that the Lucas RCF GT3 is going to get, as I twist all my words right now, but there's still 1, 2, 3, and 4, but the GTR, Liam Hamilton there, not too sure, I think he was going for the move, but it very easily could have been a missed braking marker for sure, but Lucas saw him coming, frankly.
Yeah, woof, that was
a good run. Might get the run out to 130R. No, he's starting to bucket away a bit. Sorry, man. Sorry, Matt, go on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty good place to make a move, but it does require a really big dive bomb into the hairpin there, aptly named. As we're seeing here, a lot more of that inside curb collected for Lucas than what I thought there'd be. It's already a bit hairy in the Lexus, but to grab as much of that curb as he did there, a bit interesting. But everyone taking a bit more of a conservative line through the entry into the Casio Triangle there. Lucas Keys now sitting, looking, eyeing, vying for that, top 2 position there. So we've got Squires still sitting just over half a second behind the Lexus of Mitch Hobbs. You got to think that all Hobbsy's going to try and do here, just hold it in place for as long as he possibly can, maintain that track and field position, just so that, when Chris Gilly gets in the car, we'll have something special to do here. But we're on board with Price Davis. Let's have a look at what's happened here. Ferrari going side by side, exiting Spoon, it looks, and there's a bit of a moment there as we slide. Very easy to understeer there, almost clips the back of the Aston, but Price Davis doing very, very well to a further collision there.
Oh,
so easy.
Spin.
Oh, mate, so easy to overspin out of spoon there. Pretty dangerous portion of the track for me in particular as we watch 4 cars in this little train go sailing, screaming through Degna 1 into Degna 2. Such a cool car and such a cool part of the track, sorry. It's a good spot to watch all these cars fly through.
Yeah, I have to say it's watching ACC, suspension work. It has been a surprise that the suspension isn't being brought to us by 40 Winks right now as how they take Degna curb, or at least all these front engine cars done. But I have to say, like, the Aiden Squires is really being saved, especially up the last corner. It's like, can you tell the Mustang actually has working TC when he gaps the Lexus off the last corner? But yeah, it's pretty impressive. But he really needs it because he is unfortunately definitely the one, probably the weakest out of all these 3 cars down the straights. And you wouldn't say that about the Mustang many moons ago, but it isn't the case right now. But he's all over the back of Mitch Hobbs, the veteran that he is, just doing everything he needs to, just placing the cars, and it's just like, all right, you can try and get it around, and he's got to run essentially on the outside. He gets the squeeze from Mitch Hobbs, but he holds it around the outside. Got to have the inside for the next curb. There's room given, and now Lucas has got to try and enter, and there's a bit of a slide there. Not sure if it was same juice. Here comes Liam Hamilton as well in the GTR up into P3 as these 3 in a train right now. Lucas Keys left with no slipstream at all potentially, as Aiden has to now go defensive from the GTR into turn 1. Who's going to come out in P2 in all this? It is going to be Charlie Aiden. The GTR is going to find the exit curb, and unfortunately going to run completely wide. And we return to our 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Hobbsy, Squires, Keys, and Hamilton. In all of that, they still remain the same, but you wouldn't have guessed it.
No, actually a bit of a position swap between Keys and Hamilton. Then Hamilton there, Hamilton managing to sneak ahead by the looks of things, or is it? Oh no, sorry, the leaderboard is playing tricks on me. Yeah, what an insane little moment there. Benny Hignett in the chat saying, "My heart couldn't agree more." At one stage, you had 4 cars on your screen vying for the 1 spot on the track. Amazing little rundown there on the main straight, and so tough there for Hamilton in the Skill Issue Racing 888 Nissan GTR, sorry, as he got shot out super wide there. An absolute masterclass of racing, says Hamster. Mate, couldn't agree more.
Fabulous stuff indeed. You can see that they're all having to do so much work to not pile into the back of each other as they all concertina into the hairpin right now. But it's still going to be Mitch Hobbs with a decent gap as he goes into spoon curb. But Lucas really got a surprise. Like Liam Hamilton, I think, was maybe biding his time a little bit, but now he's like, I'm not waiting around, and he's really going to start trying making moves right now. And so much they've lost so much time. Not to say that the Steven Ty is that slow, but he had quite a gap, and he's really started to close back up just because of how much they're fighting right now. Let's see how they tackle the Casio and the last curve again. Oh, very wide from Lucas Keys. Gonna rejoin safely, and that's okay. But Liam Hamilton's gonna send it up the inside as an attack, up the inside into the Casio triangle. Gonna get ahead for the first part and does get ahead for the second part. Lucas opted not to fight that on the second part and just gonna try and just get himself back under control at a fairly hairy moment there, 130R.
Yeah, pretty sure that was a conceded position, intentionally so, which makes a lot of sense there. Ran wide, but Mitch, the wall Hobbs, as Bogan Lurton is letting us know that Mitch Hobbs is putting up a brick wall of defense at the moment. To right, almost got to think, Logan. I reckon Mitch Hobbs, he's got his rear vision mirror off. He's got maybe he's into his classics, so perhaps some Cold Chisel, Kylie Minogue, just something soothing in the background. He'll be there humming along. I can see him in another Discord chat and channel, so
can't verify this. I reckon he's a Celine Dion, man.
Celine Dion's an interesting one. I don't know if Hobbsy would go for the big belting moments.
Maybe a bit Tina Turner.
Yeah, I reckon more Tina Turner. A bit of old school kind of disco pop stuff. Anyone that knows out there in the chat, tell me what Mitchell Hobbs is listening to right now. Aside from the soothing sounds of everyone that is in his little Discord chat and channel there, possibly even Dan sitting in the same channel being super grumpy, still looking to torpedo his way back up the field, but who knows what's going on. But anyway, moving on, we've got the Hamster having heard Bogan Lurton for the first time. It's a thing, mate. Bogan Lurton and Bachelor's Handbag.
I've said that before as well.
It was an intentional dump, I promise you. I promise you. So, sitting here, we're on board with Liam Hamilton sitting in third. Lucas Keys sitting behind him in fourth position, holding the purple lap. Squires and Hobbs sitting second and first. This is an excellent little top four that we have going on with lots of position fighting going on. Liam Hamilton defending to the side of Casio. Casio Triangle.
Oh,
chicane
Aiden's ahead.
complex. And he's ahead. Where did that happen? Glenn, we've got to get a replay. We've been watching them on cars.
Oh no, and now Liam Hamilton's having to massively defend from Lucas Keys and the run down. He's going to have the inside for turn one. As Aiden Squires is now having to defend his lead now, recently taken from the Casio Triangle, as Liam Hamilton does get ahead into the first corner. But now, yeah, all tops and change. And now Aiden finally unleashed from the Lexus of the wall. Oh, he's broken through Mitch Hobbs right now. And Mitch is going to have to now think about potentially of Liam Hamilton unless he has enough pace to retake the Mustang, but you can already see the Mustang starting. Aiden's going to do everything in his power right now to just pull a gap, and unfortunately going a little bit wide on the entry to Dunlop is not going to help things. But now the Lexus needs to run away right now, but it's going to be a tough act, that's for sure. I reckon something happened at the Casio. We were watching the GTR of Lucas and Liam, but it was the two in front that did swap around in the end, and Stephen Ty still in the back of all this, and Rob Underwood in the back. I'm going to replay right now, so everything as per normal. Mitch Hobbs into 130R right now, turns in, everything looks okay, everything's all fine, looks pretty good, but potentially Aiden going to do the crisscross and send a dummy, and he is going to hold the inside, but Mitch does give him the space though. I'm not sure if there was the slightest overlap or Mitch necessarily need to give him the space, but he did leave the space for the Mustang, and the Mustang went through that completely. I'm not sure if Mitch was potentially spooked a bit there by Aiden in the Mustang, but he is ahead and he's already pulling a gap, but he really needs to start pulling the gap before these Lexuses eat into this lead down the straight. But I think that's really going to set Aiden off right now. He's going to absolutely send it to the moon. And I'm sure Ben Higner in chat is going to be very, very happy as they go again into the Casio Triangle, where it's all action stations right now. And the GTR potentially with Mitch Hobbs going wide, and it's going to give the GTA a sniff potentially, but it's not able to get it done up the inside into the Casio Triangle. But now onto the back straight right now. Does the GTR have anything for the Lexus on down the straight? I think it's a big ask even for the twin turbo V6 of the GTR, and nothing, no answer to call for Liam Hamilton right now. And Mitch Hobbs going wide again. Have the Lexus tires started to go off? Potentially might be the case, but Hobbsy keeps it online for the S's for now.
Little race going on, and I have the feeling, the slightest urge to keep an eye on this little pack, because I reckon we're going to have this little foursome now going right to the very end as Squires looks to run away with it, or Operation Runaway as Benny Hignett is calling it. We're seeing now Liam Hamilton on the back of Mitch Hobbs, a pairing that we didn't think we'd see for just a little while longer. A lot of work to be done here still, as we've got two default-looking Lexuses here, or Lexi, in between sandwiched that little GTR as we say. Oh no! Mitch Hobbs has been completely spun around by Liam Hamilton at the hairpin.
Oh my goodness gracious. I look away for a brief second right now, but the leader in the space of a couple laps has fallen now down to, believe, P5, but he is still going just ahead of Underwood. But Liam Hamilton, going to set himself in the firing line for the stewards, that's for sure. But, oh dear, I'm gutted for Mitch Hobbs because he's done everything. I don't know if he's barely made any mistakes so far this race. We're 40 minutes, just under 40 minutes into this race right now. But when it starts, everyone kind of wants to make the move as well. Once they see weakness, everyone goes for a bit of a send. And unsurprisingly, that one has unfortunately come off worse for the leaders.
Yeah, no good. We're going to have to keep an eye on what happens from the steward's desk around that incident. We will most likely be expecting a penalty to befall onto Liam Hamilton there, as we see the weaving Lexus of Lucas Keys sitting looking around the outside. There's no grip around there, but Lucas Keys, if anyone can manifest some grip where there usually is none, he did a crisscross up the inside, manages to take an amazing maneuver there and get ahead of Liam Hamilton there. Hammer getting a bit robbed around the outside to inside switchback, but what a move from Lucas Keys.
Yeah, just went a little bit wide there at the second part of the first corner, and Lucas did a good job to read it and crisscross back onto the racing line and get it well and truly done. So that's going to, and I'm sure Aiden Skies would have liked Liam Hamilton to keep the Lexus behind him for a little bit longer. As we've seen, Lucas Keys, once he's on pace and all warmed up, he's definitely one of the quickest drivers out there right now, as Liam Hamilton goes to slide through Degner 2 and going to potentially one that I'm very curious to see how that will go in terms of the stewards, but between 888 and obviously 667 on a few laps ago at the Casio Triangle. But we'll see how things go. But everything looking okay. I'm trying to look at the rest of the field because we're really giving the top 5 a run, and we got a replay here now. So we're on board with the GTR into the hairpin and just hits the back of the rear bumper of the Lexus. And unfortunately, it's as simple as that, and the Lexus go around. Unfortunately, that's a little bit ACC physics as well, and I don't think that's going to play favorably for skill issue racing Nissan GTR of Jaden and Liam Hamilton, sadly.
Yeah, that's going to hurt in the long run. So very interesting. Skill issue racing, typically heralded for their pace, but Saxon Hayes out there as the leader. Maybe the leader of this little tribe. Maybe we'll look for a comment from the man himself, just to get a bit of an insight into what's going on in the minds of skill issue racing. I'm naturally just teasing, but yeah, that's an unfortunate issue. Liam Hamilton, amazing, fast and clean driver. Just a bit of a misjudgment, a lack of judgment there. It's super tough. As you mentioned, I think you mentioned earlier, Cam, the Constantina effect that you can get going into that little hairpin. Very tricky to manage, particularly when you've got, you're coming into it with so much speed out of Degner 2, and then you've just got to jump on the brakes as soon as possible. Moves can be made if someone mucks up, but also big whoopsies can occur as well. A bit of a quick note from Bogan Lurton. Lucas has only put away 4/10 in half a lap. So interesting to see just how much he can move there. So we're going to be looking for a bit of a pull away moment here from your squirrels, the leader, Aiden Squires in the 67 Ford Mustang. But then we've also got Lucas Keys in the 72 Lexus sitting just behind. So we'll have to keep an eye on those two. But as we go back down through the leaderboard, Liam Hamilton 3 seconds behind the car of Keys. Keep an eye on those gaps. It's 2.4 from second to first and 1.3 from third to second. You've got Stevie Ty down there, sporting a 5-second penalty. Car 8, the Lambo. Only Lambo in the field, to my knowledge. Sitting there less than a second behind. Hobbsy now sitting. Will probably have a little bit of rear damage, but I don't think he caught too much else. Will definitely drive out the rest of the stint. Is sitting 1.2 seconds behind. Then we've got Underwood, and then a 9-second gap to Johnson in the 991 Nissan.
Yeah, indeed. And haven't really touched in with these guys that too much, and hasn't really been able to drop Dario Bartoletti in the Lexus as well. But Breno Ellis, from that lowly qualifying position earlier on, looks like there was a bit of a slide there for Carlos, and a bigger potential moment for Breno Ellis at 130R, but doesn't get it. Nicely stopped for the Casio Triangle. But the recovery drive for the number 17 BMW, and interesting to see how he will go. I think he's definitely got the pace to be fighting with the top guys, but unfortunately, obviously, not there with the drivers. And we'll be interested to see how this all kind of dynamic changes once the other drivers get in the cars. There can be quite a big difference. For Aiden Squires, I believe he's obviously Ben Hignett will be in the car. 888 Liam Hamilton will have Jaden Rondinella in the car as well. And Stephen Ty, I'm not too sure who's Stephen Ty's teammates. I'll check in a second. It's Catfield Slade as well. 5-second penalty is not going to help them too much. Lucas Keys obviously got Patrick Johnson in his under his wing as well to slot into the Lexus. And Patrick is no slow goat, that's for sure. But we'll see how that dynamic changes. Interesting though, because obviously a 3-hour race with obviously we don't really have the required pit stops or the limited driver stints that we did in or stint. Oh, big slide there from Carlos as he normally does, but getting a big slide there on the exit, and Darius going to have a look potentially. I'm not sure he's going to get it done from that potentially, but here comes Brendan Ellis around the outside in the Falcon colors BMW, and going to hold it around the outside as the Lexus held himself very tight at the hairpin, and day done there for the BMW. Great move, opportunist on Dario's mistake there.
Yeah, super tough, as we see a bit of, just some intermittent battles going on through the field. Breno Ellis, not a normal man that we see in the BMW Project 17 Academy team, surging up through the field there. Not doing too bad, sitting in 9th currently. I've also noticed that we've had a couple of cars just shift pretty big in the field. So Roy Ankin is now leading our team of Pro-Am drivers this evening. And then Charados has disappeared. I don't know. So he's car number 4. So Dan Clark has jumped in 3rd position. There we go. So they've already pitted. Probably looking for 2 long stints at the end after a short one at the start, which would be, I would say, the opposite strategy to what most drivers and teams will be looking for this evening. Most of our little drivers here are looking for a long stint, followed by a long stint and a splash and dash. As Liam Hamilton getting a 10-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 19. That was the hairpin in we saw just before. So he will be sporting that, and that 10 seconds will come off indubitably once he pits in probably the next 20 to 25 minutes. I'd say most guys will be rolling into the pits about then.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. It'll be interesting to see how Brennis tackles on the Nissan GTR, and interesting to see which cars will be going long as well, because the less time you spend in the pits, the better. And there are some cars out there like the Porsche that can, there's a potential chance they could do that magical one-stop. They can do the 90 minutes on one tank of fuel, which is quite a feat, but does require a fair bit of saving there as Breno gets very close to the back of the Nissan GTR, but unfortunately not able to get anything done right now as the GTR got the all giga exit, the turbo power that it has. But yeah, all these drivers definitely feeling the tires a little bit towards the end of the stint, just over 45 minutes in, especially at the start of a race where the you're maybe a little you're not one to bed those tires in easily at the start of the race, but we shall see. And speaking of the gaps coming down, the gap has come down between Aiden Squires and Lucas Keys right now. Ben Hignett, where are you at? Sorry, Logan Burton that we were talking about. And that gap is the gap check right now, because there isn't much to it. It's only half a second between the two drivers, and right now it's looking these two for the favorites, because Liam Hamilton's penalty, unfortunately, Stephen Ty with a penalty as well, and Hobbsy right now kind of just trying to get to the end, and I'm sure his tires didn't benefit too much from that spin, but we'll be interested to see once they slot the formidable Chris Cooley into the car.
Yeah, that's going to be where things are going to get in. So keep an eye on this, keep an eye on the gaps. We've got a few penalties as well, which means that when hits, there's going to be a bit of a change going on. I reckon we'll see a few positions drop and shift. As we go down through the field, we have some interesting little gaps that have tightened up. Breno Ellis now right on the back of Kurt Johnson, sitting half a second behind. Another half-second gap we've got is Luke Johnson-Flukie sitting half a second behind Pete Viney, before there is a 16.9, almost 17-second gap to Gallagher outside of the top 10 now. But then going down, we've got a few cars already pitting. Mentioned a few moments before that we'd start to see a couple going in for that shorter stint before the longer stints later on. So interesting to see a few people taking that strategy. Where would you kind of go, Mr. Thistleweight? Are you a long, short? Are you a long, long? Or even a short, long?
Yeah, not sure. Are we still talking about the race right now?
Yeah, back on racing. But,
I'm just going to let Annie do the first 2 full stints, and then I'm just going to slot in for the last bit. So really getting his money's worth out of me. The pro driver's going to do the least amount of driving right now, because I love the Combox too much, and I'm really disappointed for you. You know, you're someone I can tell that you wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit. You bring the energy, but I'm still gutted for you a little bit with that information. Sorry, I keep reminding you about it potentially. Oh, as they're getting very close up at the front of the field, and the Mustang goes defensive, blocks off any attempt at Lucas sending it up the inside into turn one. But he's definitely going to have to wait, and I'm sure this is probably where the Mustang is a little bit better. But Lucas Keys, he will be potentially able to make the difference and stick with him through the S's right now. But I'm sure he knows how to handle the tires as well on the Lexus. But I did see yellow for a car 147. I'm not too sure where that driver is right now, but oh dear, I think that was your car actually. Now I think about it, I'm hoping they got going again for then.
Yeah, a bit of an uh-oh thing. We'll have to see what happened there. And absolutely, mate, yeah, hard on the sleeve, different kind of guy. Absolutely love getting involved in these. And when it doesn't work out, things suck. But, there's an ancient Buddhist sort of prophecy that I do adhere to, which is it is what it is. So there's nothing we can do about it. We're here in the comms box. But I do know that before, I think there was a drop in position for my man Danzo after we had a car go around. I think it was Joe Spenceley in the Porsche guys' Porsche that spun at 130R, and I think that dropped him back a few positions, but I didn't see who was pulled up on the side there, so we'll have to go back and have a bit of a recce, bit of a look to see what's going on there. I might actually even be able to flick through and have a bit of a look at what's going on, but we'll keep you abreast of all the info. We might have had a bit of a leave from the server according to the man on the cams. So can't blame him. 3 hours is a big hit. It's a big, it's a lot of racing to chew off. So we may see Danzo in.
I want to get back out there right now.
Get out there and drive your 3 hours. Do your stint.
Eat your veggies.
But I reckon we'll see Dan in the commentary box before long. It is getting very late over where he lives in Hawaii, but he's no slouch. He will be over shortly, I'm very sure, as we see here. Aiden Squires moving up the inside, trying to defend off the Lexus of Lucas Keys, running wide around the outside of the aptly named first turn. No grip out there, but again, Lucas Keys almost looks like he's got different tyres on. I think of Gran Turismo, the moments where you can choose soft tyres, hard tyres, medium tyres. Almost looks like he's got access to a set that I don't. But that is just how good some of these guys are. As we're coming up, Cam, I'm noticing just at the far right-hand side of my screen, some lap traffic.
Yeah, a couple of lap cars up ahead, I believe Spenceley, and I'm not too sure who else, but they really need to keep their wits about him, because any small hold-up is going to potentially dictate the first two on this race, with the gap being so low right now. So I'm hoping they've got their other drivers letting them know, if they haven't noticed already. The blue flags will start waving right now once they get within a second, but hopefully not impacted this glorious battle. I did see there was a few comments as well on the other lap before this one that there was potentially a bit of a reaction move from Aiden Squires. This time around it was a lot more clear with going to the inside, defending it early rather than at the last minute. But yeah, Lucas tried to hold it around the outside, but nothing able to do. That first Porsche does see the cars coming through and gets out of the way, goes on the inside, backs out the throttle a little bit, and lets the two V8s fly past as well. And we'll see how Joe Spenceley tags on. But good blue flag etiquette from the blue and red Porsche. I do apologize, I can't identify which car that is right now, but these two getting ever so close. Aiden has to defend into the Casio triangle. Lucas going to try and hold it on the outside for the inside of this turn two, but not able to get it done. But the Port Masculine going to have a good exit. Oh, actually a bit of a slide potentially, but is it going to be enough? I think he's got enough a gap that he won't be under threat from the Lexus, but still Spenceley in that Porsche just going to be a factor through this whole S's, and even just a little bit of dirty air that you do get in these GT cars is going to be enough to upset the Mustang potentially a little bit. It's just an unnecessary distraction that you need right now once you got the Lexus hounding you. But thankfully Joe Spenceley, being the veteran he is, does get out of the way cleanly and doesn't affect that battle whatsoever. But we're seeing a few more penalties come in. Car for 10 as well. I believe that was Roy Atkin, a 10-second penalty, but unfortunately down for him in P17 right now. But Lucas all over the back of him, still trying to hustle that Lexus all through the S's and the run up through Dunlop up the hill. hill right now and not really in a position to make a move into Degner. Let's see how he goes on board into the hairpin as the next potential overtaking spot, but it's not like F1 where you can potentially do a dive from very far back. It's very hard to do, and you see the Mustang getting a good exit and run towards the hairpin right now, and we'll watch to the exit right now. Pretty good. You can see the Mustang with that superior TC getting a really good exit, but now we'll see the Lexus slowly creep in like a little. It's just got the little rope and it's just playing one by one, heave, but not actually making too much of an inroad right now. But I think we'll see a bit more coming down into 130R out of Spoon. Oh, running it very wide, but that is the line you want to take, as you want to give yourself a wide entry for the second part of Spoon, but still seesawing on the wheel, trying to get down, and now on the run down to 130R, and we're going to get that glorious slipstream from the Ford Mustang, and we'll see slowly, you see the hood line of the Lexus slowly creeping up to the diffuser of the Mustang as they run through 130R, running it wide. That's still within track limits, that's A-OK. Not able to make any kind of move into Casio, but really closing in under the brakes is Lucas Keys on the back of Aiden Squires, and going to try and set himself up for the best exit he can possibly can, and the Mustang doesn't get away too much. Let's see what he can do, how close he'll get coming down to the first corner. Oh, it's going to be very late. He's going to get there, but it's not actually not going to get there in time. Not enough for Lucas Keys right now.
It's so impressive watching his hands move, mate. He's such a talented and skilled kid. Like, the way that he can drive these things around. I know it's like seesawing to my untrained eye, but he's so good. The level of control that he's got over the car, doesn't lose any time, pushes the car to the absolute limit, whether that's understeer, oversteer, extracts everything out of this little machine. And I tell you what, the sound of the Lexus, I know you and I can't hear sound on stream, so it's funny when I tell you and I to, you know, listen to the sound, but it's the viewers out there on YouTube. You can hear the sounds of these things just roaring as they go. Unbelievable to listen to. They sound like a V8 supercar on steroids. I reckon they're probably close to the best sounding GT3 in the game, in my opinion, as we get nice and close. That Constantina effect coming through the hairpin. Lucas Keys hard on the tail now, looking under the spoiler there of Aiden Squires' little Mustang. Woo, getting a bit close for comfort.
Getting also close as we get also close to the end of the first hour here at SUZUKA for the first round of the duos, and Lucas really putting on the thread, but Aiden's doing all the right things right now, but not the best run through the second part of Spoon, and it's going to be a lot closer for Lucas coming onto this back straight. But again, by the time you start to reel him in, you get to 130R, and it's really going to potentially go, but oh, there's a big run, and Aiden having to go defensive as well. He already picks his way he chooses, and looks like he's not able to get it done, but goes very wide, goes off track as well, and Lucas is going to go ahead, and Aiden knows that he backs out because he knew he kind of retained that position by going off track potentially. But that is Lucas up into the lead through into the Casio triangle due to that small mistake there from Aiden Squires.
Holy cow, yeah, that's not exactly, you know, most corners kind of write the defensive lines themselves, right? But 130R, that fast left-hander, really, if you have to go with a defensive inside line, as we saw Squires have to do there, there's just nowhere for you to go. You really can't make it work because it just, you're so pushed to the inside, it spits you out wide, you're carrying so much speed, but you can't afford to wash any of it off. But now Lucas Keys gets ahead, 28 laps in, 58 minutes almost into this 3-hour duos race. And one thing I can tell you is that Aiden Squires is currently listening to Cold Rain by Ryo. Mayday. Feet Ryo from Cold Rain. Never heard that song ever, but I can see it coming up in my Discord activity. So whatever that song is, it didn't quite work for 130R. So it'll be interesting to see whether maybe a more upbeat tune. Maybe we have to go back to Hobbsy's earlier accusations of Celine Dion coming through for Mitchell Hobbs, perhaps. A young bloke, but an old soul. So we'll have to keep an eye on who's listening to what as we go through Matt's random Discord updates.
Yeah, I couldn't fathom. I don't know how these guys listen to Spotify and race at the same time. I'm I need the full concentration whenever I do my driving. I do not have any spare capacity for anything else, which is usually why when I stream, I usually do pretty badly. But they got a few traffic, blue flag traffic up ahead, I believe, of Charitos and the Bentley of another one of Skill Issue Racing. Got a few cars in there. Look at Skill Issue, almost 1 and 2 there with the red Aston and the green Bentley, and then you got Liam Hamilton in there as well. Just it's not very fair, Liam Hamilton. Go join your other mates back down there. I have to say also Saxon. Apparently, there's a bit of a rivalry between you guys, Skill Issue and Pidgey. Saxon wanted a few people in commentary just to balance out the Pidgey bias, he said, but no such thing, surely, from you guys.
Well, no such thing. We're just flooding commentary with Pidgeys, so eventually, we'll. It's not biased. It's just pure exposure. No, absolutely. The Skill Issue Racing guys, look, Pidgeys we're lovers, not fighters, mate. But Skill Issue Racing, they've got they've got several bones to pick with us, so they're looking to ignite a bit of a battle this upcoming season. It will be in split yellow, I believe. We're waiting for the final list to be confirmed. We all know how I love my entry list. But we'll be waiting to see. But I think there's a fair few Skill Issue Racing cars, as we're seeing side by side, Breno Ellis and the Lexus here of Bartoletti. The two of them going too wide all the way through the S's, coming up now into Dunlop. As they go wide, Breno Ellis still on the outside, coming through the final S's, going up into now Dunlop. Sorry. Oh, very wide there from Bartoletti. He's going to lose as Breno gets the preferred line up there. That was a bit hairy. Not a spot to go too wide, boys. But I'll tell you what, I'd take it through the S's rather than right here, Degner 1, which is where we see quite a few people go too wide. But yeah, no, bit of a rivalry forming. But it's okay. Skill Issue Racing are putting out there. They're putting a lot of sort of propaganda out there, trying to really drive their message home. We're just going to let the actions on the track speak. This is a bit of a warm-up race for us. Obviously, Dan and I felt so confident that we didn't really need a race tonight. Just let them go, give a bit of confidence, let the Skill Issue guys sort of sort their stuff out before the season kicks off.
Indeed. And do let us know what your kind of music tracks. I like a bit of pre-race hype music. So before races, I was listening to a bit of Trent Reznor before comms. But I was enjoying that. But yeah, Breno, who Dario said, I think he wasn't afraid to fight him whatsoever through the S's, and some great driving and a little bit of door bangs here and there, and it's a-okay. And I'm pretty sure the movie that is Robin's Racing. Oh no, that was Days of Thunder's Robin's Racing. Oh no, ruined. But I'm sure it will apply to. I still can't remember the name of whatever dragon as the Wonder White livery is from. I think it's Wonder White, or is that the bread brand that I'm thinking of?
It's definitely the bread band.
Is that not what that is?
It's Wonder White's the bread.
It's Wonder something.
Wonder.
Nah, it's Wonder White. The Australian version would be Wonder White.
Yeah. There's definitely an old emo band for anyone that's been around for a few years called Wonder Years. Great band, actually. Excellent. A critic, which is, for anyone that doesn't know, is Saxon Hayes coming in, throwing some of his slander in chat. Pidgey, yet again, struggling to finish a race. Never need to finish a race, mate. Always just start on the right foot. Walk out the door in the right frame of mind. It doesn't matter how you come home. That is my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
Yes, we can throw some shade back. Skill Issue might actually finish, a decent result with Saxon on the sidelines in the chat.
We'll take it. You said it, not me. We've also got Rise Against Hamster. Don't mind that actually. Bit of Rise
Against the Machine. I'm guessing.
No, that's definitely Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine. Sorry, I'm mixing the two and I do know Rise Against actually. Sorry, you can tell I'm very awake for my stint later on right now.
That is absolutely so fine, but I do like that. Maybe one day we could get a bit of a crossover called Rise Against the Machine. But yeah, Rise Against, excellent heavier band. Quite a good little, if I was a music guy while I was on track, I'd definitely be listening to little bit more, upbeat like that, a little bit more sort of, blood pumping, heart pounding sort of stuff. But I know for a fact as well that my brother will actually crack out some old High School Musical tunes, likes a bit of country. It's a bit softer to calm the head and the heart. But I reckon most people in here would probably be listening to pounding techno. We've got coming through as well from Harry. Yeah, don't disagree with you, mate. I think that's absolutely the right train that we'd be on.
Indeed, I have to say. And I'm trying to think of bands similar to Rise Against. I'm not sure if I can say the word, actually, the first part of this band, because YouTube is a bit funny about that. But Aiden Squire's in the picks. Quite an early stop, a bit earlier than everyone else. Maybe the Mustang does not have the fuel tank to go the rest of the other ones. But interesting to see how that goes. Curious to see how much further the Lexus and the GTR can go. I wouldn't think the Lexus is a particularly economical car, but what do I know? But we shall see right now. And the Lambo's still going as well. I think we shouldn't discount Stephen Ty right now. He's kind of just there. He does have that penalty. He will get ahead of Hamilton if everything goes to plan. And a bit of a gap to Lucas Keys, but you never know what could go wrong. And obviously he'll slot in put in Kafil Slade at some point. We'll see. We're kind of expecting maybe, we'll see if any of these drivers that have done the first part of the race will stay in. Maybe they'll put their second driver in and then do the last stint. Potentially, if they do the 1 hour, the stints on the hour, depending on what their fuel tanks are like. Steven Stein still going around and didn't, kind of just did his own race and didn't get involved in any incidents as Lucas Keys into the box with some dino juice.
I haven't heard it called dino juice in a very long time. Mate, this stuff it's always liquid gold, but now
what do you think
more
the fuel
particular than usual.
Do you think they can afford to fill up the tank?
Yeah. All I'm saying is thank God they're not diesel. We'd be running, I reckon.
What race fuel costs? It's like $20 a litre.
It's got to be said, we're all for economical racing. I reckon some of the, obviously there's probably going to be, this is racing, right? We're going to have some Saudi princes. We're going to have some well-off individuals, some old money, family money. But I reckon some of these, everyday teams from our everyday men and women that are driving today, I reckon some of them are throwing a bit of, E10 unleaded in the car. What do you reckon? Just pray.
Yeah, just getting the second-hand Pirellis out of the skip that the fast teams don't want as well, which is very much something that happens in karting in real life. Many of the top-line drivers used to just they couldn't afford the fresh tires. They would just get the knackered old ones from all the rich kids that they don't want to. So it's not what you have sometimes. It's what you can bring. But you have to say don't really have that discrepancy in sim racing to a degree. We've seen the many G29 users be very, very quick, and equipment is only one thing. It's the pelican behind the wheel.
Yeah, well, another, a G29 user is actually an incredibly fast racer, operates on
to be fair, G29s used to be a cheap option. I'm not sure what they are now.
They're not as cheap as what you'd think, right? I'm definitely not the expert on sim gear, but they are, they not as cheap as what you'd think for what they are. But, they're also an extremely, extremely good piece of kit. They last you for many years, and there's some very fast drivers on them.
Yep, absolutely. I just wait till a mate has a pretty much a brand new wheel, but he's going to upgrade, like I did with Mr. John Hislop. I bought his wheel because he couldn't be bothered to put it up on eBay. Thank goodness, and I got a cracking deal. But indeed, I'm a bit more of a person to let something actually, I can't replace stuff that is still functional. It has to be utterly broken and irreparable. I'm a bit of a tightwad like that.
This is true. We've got some drama surfacing in the YouTube chat as well. As Logan Burton accuses my man Dave Stevenson of making people buy tires off him. Hey, it's a legitimate business, Logan. I don't know what you're talking about. These two know each other from real life karting, so some accusations been throwing around. See if Steve-O is watching in stream and can respond to that. That was funny. Says Lightning, which is Hayden Squires in there. That was funny fun. That was indeed fun. You drove extremely well, Mr. Squires. Very, very well done as you throw your teammate in the car. We'll have to wait and see. I think that's Mr. Benny Hignett is up in car 67 now, sitting comfortably in the top 10.
Indeed, and did you see one of the other Lexuses came in of Mitch Hobbs has now slotted in Chris Cooley into the pole position car, and down there in 13th, and I'm very curious how much more fuel this GTR has. Liam did, kind of found himself in the crosshairs a little bit. Not the perfect first stint that he would like, but potentially the fuel strategy might be a deciding factor. And, granted, they're probably still going to have to do 2 stops. I don't think this GTR will be, could be wrong, but I don't think he can necessarily 1-stop this race. But they can really shorten that last stint potentially by going long on the first 2 stints, and they can have a really short stint and potentially not even take tires for the last stint if they can get it down to something like 20 minutes. You can save that time potentially, but we shall see. Obviously 10-second penalty to be applied. That'll put them behind the Lamborghini. I think, if they can catch the Lambo, they won't have too much trouble passing it. Obviously the discrepancy is Breno Ellis with a 15-second penalty for a collision on lap 26. That was quite a few laps ago, so I'm not too sure if we caught that. We saw him have that moment with Dario Bartoletti, but that looked all fair and laissez faire to me, to be honest, Matt. But I wonder who that might have been with. If any stewards in chat do give us the deets.
Lap 26, I reckon that was pretty close to when we were watching him 2x2 through the S's with Bartoletti. It does feel like if I sort of, lick my finger and stick it to the air and feel a strong breeze, I reckon that was about laps ago, so it's about the right sort of time frame.
Who else were they with? Carlos Johnson was also with them, and we didn't see Carlos when he got past that Lexus. And I don't know where Carlos is. They would have put potentially Pete. I reckon maybe something's happened with the black and white GTR of Carlos. I might be completely guessing, to be honest, I have to say. But yeah, I'm not seeing that GTR, but it's down in P20 for Pickford for 991. That's quite a drop down from where they were in that sort of P7-8 region.
Some clarity coming through from Ryan Anderson. Separate incident, final corner of lap 26. We might be able to get a bit of a replay up with that very focused reference.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Glenn, on the cams, letting us know that he's grabbing up the replay. But, we've got some new things coming into the booth, including some amazing engagement in the chat tonight. Thanks, everyone, for jumping in on your Saturday night. Flicking us a couple of messages, but we've also got Dan Madden, fresh out of the seat and off the entry lists and into the comms box. How are you, Danzo?
I'm doing great. I wouldn't even go that far to say I was on the entry list, given the order that we joined in.
Oh boy!
Talk us through the replay, Danzo. What do you see here? This is Breno Ellis in the BMW, cutting off the nose,
outside, leaving a bit of room. I got. Oh no!
Oh, he's feeding him out to the ground. Oh, yeah.
No,
I was right.
Bueno, as I would say.
There was a moment with Carlos.
No, Breno.
Oh boy, shame. Not even 30 seconds in the booth.
And he's already making puns that we love. Danzo, I saw on your screen earlier, because I had your screen share running in a separate window, the incident that we caught just a little tiny bit of it at 130R when you had a car swing across your nose. That was awfully close to killing you, and I didn't see the end of it, but it actually squirted you into the wall, which is why you're in with us now.
Look, yeah, little too much right pedal. Not gonna lie, probably should have lifted off a little bit earlier as the Nissan lost it in front of me. But that's just racing. He lost it wide and he tried to put it back on the track, and sort of left myself with nowhere to go. But he had every right to try and rejoin there. So it's just racing.
It's just racing, mate. That's a separate incident to the one that I was talking about too. I think I was more the 130R, the Porsche that went in front of you. But it's a different one as well, where a Nissan went sailing in front of you. That's just racing in a packed field. We had started with 31 cars, I believe, on the grid. Is that right? Oh, yeah, wow. So there you go. So it's a good little evening of racing here. As we're seeing in front of us, Blake Griffiths and Benny Hignett. Benny Hignett roaring up the inside there into the aptly named hairpin. As we see, Blake just have to concede to the position there. But Danzo, talk to us about the race. Give us a bit of insight into the first, like 15, 20 minutes on the ground.
Started at the back there, second last, third last, and I was surprised there was no safety car called as we went bowling down the first corner.
Yeah.
A couple of cars off to the left-hand side. Everyone was going everywhere. I was going 3 wide into a couple corners. But it was actually really clean racing. I thought everyone did a really good job on such a low traction surface. But the pace out there is good too. Even the back of the field still doing them low 202s, mid 202s, which made it really good. Everyone was a couple battle packs as well. I just thought it was really good racing that I love to see at OOR.
God, Lucas Keys, you got to think that he's now just actually jumped in for a splash and dash session because he's just at a 159. But a car to watch for us now is actually Chris Cooley, car 667, sitting there in position 10, has taken the wheel off Mitchell Hobbs, who will no doubt be going to check the footy scores since he's been
ready to
racing
uninstall ACC as well. Never again.
Well, we've heard that before. We've heard that before. Again, allegedly...
There's only so much blackmail we can throw at him.
Allegedly, he consented. Allegedly. He might have been deafened in a Discord, but he was asked whether or not he would say no to racing and didn't say no. Discord rules.
See, I do remember it slightly differently, Matt, when we were in the Discord call this afternoon as Hobbsy's watching us go around the track, giving some pointers, and we went, Hobbsy, surely you're doing a race with Dink Donk. And he goes, I don't race. I'm not racing. And, well, don't think of it as a race. Think of it as just a long qualifying session with a couple of the boys.
Exactly. Someone will be crowned at the end of this event, but it's definitely not a race. A race is such a harsh and strong word to attach to it. We know that he's not going to race anymore, but he's open to qualifying and extended sessions of hot laps, right?
It's like a fresh relationship. Like don't put labels on it. Just enjoy it.
It's a pogrom.
You're going to have to explain that. I'm too old for this.
I think I probably misspoke. Oh,
Benny Simpson!
Buy an Atlas.
Mowing the lawn. Yeah. Straight in no kissing whistling on the back of every car. It is our unofficial motto. But he's gone straight in no kissing onto the lawn there. Have to watch that, but the grass at SUZUKA is staying freshly clipped this evening. Benny Simpson now up to 16th position. He is in the Fezzer, which means he has the luxury of not having had to pit yet. He will be out there for probably another 10 minutes, maybe just under, as he meanders his way around the track and through the field. Amazing drive from him far. Really consistent and solid, aside from that one time that I watched him. But it's pretty bloody good. Glenn, you do an amazing job on the cams here. Pidgey colours there. Incident between 67 and 277 on lap 35 of final corner. We'll have to see if we can get a bit of a read on that. But we've got here Bartoletti. Have a go at the wonder. Danzo, that's surely a Ricky Bobby. Bobby moment.
Ricky Bobby. If you're not first, you're last. There's a goddamn cougar in the car.
It's a goddamn cougar in the car. It is written on the back of it. If you're not first, you're last. So it has to be a reference. Either that or it's the most happy coincidence ever. But we're seeing here, we've got Liam Hamilton in the Skill Issue Racing Car 888. The Nissan heading up through the Casio Triangle now. Sitting pretty comfortably in first, but again, he hasn't pitted yet, so still sporting that 10-second penalty. Will drop him, definitely, that 10 seconds alone will put him in second place, and then he's got the whole of the pit stop to do. So a bit going on at the moment.
Bit concerning for the guys fighting for the lead right now with how long this GTR is going. In a few minutes' time, it'll go 80 minutes since the start of the race, all one tank of fuel, which is very impressive. I'm genuinely curious whether they're actually running the top map or whether, to be honest, despite many years and races in the GTR, I never really actually paid attention to whether the maps do anything when it comes to the fuel consumption, because I never did an enduro with it. But got plenty of torque, plenty of power, and that's kind of what you need. And if you can dial back the fuel consumption a little bit, you kind of don't really need that peak power output for the top speed here, because generally there's only a few places where you kind of really get the top speed going, as you usually find another corner. It's not like Paul Ricard, but yeah, if you can even get remotely close to the halfway point in this GTR, that spells danger, despite no matter the penalty that they have on that car for the rest of the field.
Yeah.
Oh,
we see a car facing backwards.
Pickford. No, Michael Pickford, the 991, the black and white GTR Kovacs has found the wall on the run to Spoon. Oh, 200R. I wonder if he's caught the inside curb potentially, as there is a little bit of a moment. Oh, classic top flick spin there to get it back going, and hopefully damage is minimum for Michael Pickford.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's pretty lucky. He has a 30-second gap there to that. So we're looking at the 277 and 67 incident. So 67 is the Mustang there, and just a bit of a moment where he dives into the pits. And, that's really tough.
It's quite amazing that Aiden Squires to bring up an incident with his own car to be shown on replay like that, because that looks pretty guilty to your guy.
Yeah, I think so. What we're seeing from Squires in the chat is letting us know that he thinks that 277 was just trying to get into the pits.
Yeah.
And Benny Hignett just had absolutely nowhere to go, which makes a lot of sense. It's hard when you tuck in. Suzuka's pit lane will do that to you. It's on the inside, on the racing lines. You've got to be really...
He just made a decision for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forced pit stop, eh, Denzo? We love one of them.
through an RTG or through being tapped into the pits, either way.
For sure. And we've got the Lambo of Stevie Ty sitting there in the pits at the moment. A bit of a top up as Cam called it, that dyno juice. Letting that sweet oil come in. Perhaps it's Venezuelan oil. Might be a little bit cheaper at the moment. Actually, yeah, Denzo, your fuel prices must be okay in Hawaii. Getting the Venezuelan oil, right?
I'm
short trips.
Try and convert it. We're around the $5.50 a gallon at the moment. So I do believe that's cheaper than Australia. You guys paying around $8 a gallon.
Just a little bit
cheaper.
Is it what?
Yeah.
Is it 2.5 gallons to a litre, or I don't know? It's way more, isn't it?
It's about 3.9 litres.
I saw a YouTube clip, and it was like saying that like it's the equivalent of basically $10 per gallon, 10 Australian dollars per gallon, basically, when you do the conversion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, why $3 is so cheap?
You're paying about this is real rough boy maths, but it's about $2.40 a litre at the moment. You're paying.
Sheesh.
No,
Australia.
less.
You don't live in Sydney.
Less. In the mid $1 Aussies a litre.
I mean, to be fair, in America you do have that sort of like fairy liquid juice that you call petrol.
Correct. Correct. I was.
Leaders in. There's a motor race going on.
Tied up on my boy maths.
Hamilton.
Hamo's
the pits now. Stretch that out for an hour and 21 minutes, which is not a bad stint out of the Nissan there.
Oh, he caught the inside curb. I knew it. Oh, did he avoid the wall? No, not quite. But that, considering that part of the track and losing it there, that's I'd take that.
He almost Beybladed it all the way back to pointing back up the track. It's almost quite impressive.
Should have kept going. Oh, as they come in. Yep.
Just calling out that Chris Curley now back up into 4th place, charging that Lexus through the field.
It is. I'm very surprised we haven't seen a purple lap from him just yet. I think the marker sits at a high 1.9 keys at the moment. But we know that Chris Hewley was capable of a 157.8, I believe we saw earlier today in the Lexus. So as we see two wide here, a bit of a push and
in
shove.
front of the leader.
The red Sir gets shoved off to the right, but Dan Clark managing to keep it on track really well. Him, 1.5 Sirs, we've got that car managing to keep it on. But it's Chris Wren that was actually trying to send it bowling off.
Just got a penalty for an unrelated incident. So really making friends out there, clearly, for Chris Wren.
Chris Wren and Dan Clark, old Academy rivals, I would say. You know, everyone at Academy's rival, everyone beat one another. But, you know, these two raced around each other for quite some time. Chris Wren's been in the game for a fair bit now with OOR. So the two of them going toe-to-toe or wheel-to-wheel as we sit here, blue flagging, allowing that faster car up Lexus. That might be Chris Cooley or it might be Lucas Keys. Default livery. We won't know.
There's Keeley. Keeley's got the green wheels. Yeah. I will say, like, he's unfortunately quite a way off Lucas Keys, like, in all of that. I'm not too sure. I know, like, obviously Mitch Hobbs had that moment, and he wasn't too far away from the leaders when they did the stop, so really fallen a lot far back. And also to note that Brenner Ellis has, I've seen that car in the pits for the last several laps, and unfortunately it looks like that race is not going to plan for that one, as it has, 4 laps down now, so he's coming to the pits, and maybe there's no one there to greet him, sadly.
Tell you what, sometimes, particularly these cars that
Dan knows how that feels right now, I think.
Hey, Dan, I know you're a long way away from me physically. If you can just pull the knife that's wedged just behind my shoulder blade there, Cam just left it in there. Just pull that out whenever you can. That'd be great.
Look, he has twisted it a few times. This may hurt.
I want that back.
It's a threaded knife. He's tapped it into me.
A little pigtail, just corkscrew.
Take that up.
I got a down payment on that.
A bit of an interesting note, actually, because I've seen this happen before. Some of these amazing races do also help out as volunteers in OOR, whether it's commentating or stewarding. You are going to see sometimes you can join a server as a spectator rather than as a racer. As we're seeing these two, Lamborghini tucked in behind the Porsche there, Kafil Slade looking for a way around Pete Viney, going up the inside of first turn. The two of them wheel to wheel, manages to find all the grip as Kafil Slade. Slade pulling away out of that first turn. Going for a crisscross maneuver though is Pete Viney, but can't get it done as Slade has the apex of the next two S's. Really well driven there, coming up on a blue flag car. Where's it gonna go? Got a bit of a roadblock here. The Pidgey car getting in the way there, but Slady managing to find a way around the outside. Not much grip there, bit of an oversteer, but gets it done.
Pidgey always trying to find some TV time, evidently.
Correct.
And Pete Viney's still yet to pit. The Porsche, as I said, trying to do that magic one-stop, and I think this car could do it. And it's going to be an absolute boon for them if they can make it. It's still P6 right now. Like, great stuff from them.
Look, don't tell me he's fuel saving their Cam, because I came out of the pits and I actually came out in front of P Viney, about 3 seconds in front, and then I started really putting some time into him, and I just thought, you know what, maybe it's me. Maybe I just have raw pace.
I was going to say, well, to be fair, I'm not sure if they're fuel saving in the form of running a lower engine map because when the Porsche doesn't get any top speed, there's no point really running optimum peak power anyway.
Yeah.
But he is out there, but they got a 10 second. I didn't even register. That was from quite a while back.
Squirrel's calling out Burton.
Penalty for 6-7. The P3 potential fighting for the lead. That's not going to be good. Sorry, Danny.
Could be fair. That earlier incident was where we saw someone go diving into the pits, car 277, just getting in the way of the car 67 there. Enough sevens out on track to keep everyone happy. Is it lucky number 7 or number 8 in? No, we're not doing 6-7. We're not doing 6-7 again. But
hang on.
Some interesting moments in the chat. Better hit. Let's keep it sensible, boys. There in the YouTube chat is here. We're on with Pete Viney. Has to last another 3 minutes, or technically 2.5 once you count the time of the pit stop in the pit lane to actually make it through. But then it is up to Pete's second driver, who we'll see in a few moments, to carry out the rest of that stint. Such a tough thing. But I guess the Porsche, I've never actually gone to try and fuel save in the Porsche in ACC. Cam, have you ever? I think you spent a bit of time in and around the Porsche, yeah?
Not really this generation, but I've watched these boys. They've run this Porsche for a while, and they've done it in many similar races before, where you can, and we've even seen like Lucas and co, like, you know, they've run this Porsche to do that one stop in these 3-hour races because it can do really good fuel saving. It doesn't necessarily have the peak output, but like, you know, when you cut a whole pit stop out of the bag, it is you know, it makes its time in the other ways. And yeah, you know, it's the beauty of endurance racing. You know, sometimes outright pace is not the necessarily winning factor, but we'll see how they go. I don't think not to throw any shade at them, but I think they're not in the, you know, contention for the lead, but they're on for a top result for silver, that's for sure right now. So we need to join someone else to the booth, but just before we introduce them, I am going to bid adieu, as I am probably due to jump in the car potentially at some point to join my fellow driver. But I'll love yous and leave yous, gents.
Thanks so much,
and
Cam.
ladies.
Been a pleasure.
Have a great race. We'll be keeping an eye on Cam as he sails through the race. The rest of your Saturday evening, the SimRigs sponsored duo series with Octane Online Racing, and we have the wonderful pleasure of welcoming the woman of the hour, Blake Griffiths, to the booth. How are you, Blake?
Oh. Hold on, am I here? Yes, I'm here. I'm not on push to talk actually, so I was a bit spooked. I was like, what's going on? It didn't make the little noise. Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. How are you doing? How are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good. We're dealing with an earlier entry list related loss, personal loss in our lives, but otherwise doing fine. Denzo, do you echo that?
Yeah, look, like, if you see both Maddens in the commentary box, something has not gone right.
Yeah, something's a little bit amiss.
Yeah, there's only so many times in life that two Maddens should be together. You know, on stage with a band called Good Charlotte, attached to the American football NFL. And then when something goes horrifically awry in the OOR world, where you get two Maddens in the place at the same time.
Either there's been a severe Beyblade moment, or it's, hang on, did you join the server? Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, so wait, so it was your guys' fault?
Oh yeah, well it couldn't have been anyone else's fault.
Here I was sympathetic that like something had just gone wrong, and you know, it was a bit of a hard wicket you've got, but you fucked up the entry yourself.
Yes, yeah, we did. It was entirely on us. But you know what? We move on. We move on. Can you talk me through your livery? I want to know as much as I can about this gorgeous little thing. It is such a good looking thing.
Yeah, it's funny. So I don't know if you have been following closely the career of the Bobcar team, but our duo series has been often a little bit cursed, I would say. Mm-hmm. Our first race at SUZUKA, I collected someone through 130R. They were like, you know, perpendicular on the exit curb. Made the wrong call, hit them, you know, shit happens. But I also disconnected that race. One race we missed out entirely, I think last season at Monza, because I had no power. It's just been shit like that, and you know, a few different things here and there. So it's a black cat inspired livery. So there's a big kitty on the front. And yeah, so it's bad luck Bobcar. This time around, we're embracing that sort of bad luck, and hopefully it you know, swings us back around.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
That's beautiful from the front. I absolutely love that livery.
Yeah, it's channeling a little bit of like a Rexy vibe, but it's just very cute. I threw it together pretty quickly, but I'm actually like really happy with it. I think it's just something fun and simple. So yeah, it's come together well.
As you should be. I actually realized I'll incorrectly label it earlier on as hooves on the front. Like they kind of look like two deer paw print or hoof prints. But I'm seeing it now. It's the whole cat face, the bobcat, the bad luck bobcat. I really like that. I like a bit of a story that goes into a livery that is sensational, and it looks like you're both having pretty good luck this evening.
Yeah, no, it's actually going quite well, I think. My pace was pretty good. Managed to keep myself out of trouble. Might have... we had a bit of a racing incident with George, and I'll apologize to George. I think, like, again, that was a racing incident, at least in my opinion. He might be angry at me, but, you know, shit happens. But he also just got killed by someone else, like, immediately after that. But apart from that, yeah, the pace has been really, really good. Kept it clean, kept out of trouble. So, yeah, and we find ourselves, like, yeah, just sniffing or inside the top 10 now, actually. And Lucas is faster than I am, so on for a good, probably our best duos result ever, actually.
Well done. Danzo, talk us through what you're seeing with Chris Cooley here. I know he's a dear friend of yours, in the Lexus.
Well, he was a little cut because we were going to do this race together, and then I had to pick family first. You know,
Always family first.
Bit of a Dom moment from Fast and Furious there. But yeah, both him and Hobbsy, I can tell you now from the chat, are having an absolute ball, talking crap about the car, every curb they can and cannot hit, and it's just this sort of ACC greats just chatting the entire time. And can this guy get off my tail? Where's he gonna go? What do you think? What do you think he's gonna do? Do you think I'm gonna fall for that? I'm gonna tell him after this. It's been absolutely excellent to be in that chat. So almost missing out being in the booth here.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, and so for anyone listening out there, I can see over to my left-hand side that both Chris Cooley and Mitchell Hobbs are in the same chat. Danzo had the pleasure of listening to them for the whole first hour, which it makes sense. I would have pulled into the pits and just sat back and listened to that as well. Danzo, I think, is a blessing in disguise that we aren't racing at the moment. But talk us through Hobbsy's first little bit, because this is I don't think he's ever driven a Lexus board, well, about 3 o'clock this afternoon when he realised he was racing. What's his views?
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of chat about the gears, like, oh, of course first gear doesn't work there, and a lot of things like that. And then I'll be honest, I think our friend Squirrels was getting a little under his skin. He was up, from what I could tell, he was up the back of that Lexus, and it's just, can you not? Like, he wasn't having a bar of it. And honestly, I think there's a little weight taken off his shoulders having Dink Donk in the car here. Just a little relaxed now. Let Dink Donk just charge down the leaders, get this car into a podium position, and I'm interested to see who they're going to make finish this race.
Yeah, it's got to be Chris Cooley back in for a second stint. But Blake, a quick question just to flip-flop back to your car. Noticing you're at a Porsche, very different strategy that you're both taking, and Lucas, to the car of Pete Viney, who we've got to keep an eye on where his partner is now, because we have to see who's jumping in. It might be Chalmers, I think, has jumped in that car, but they're going for a one-stopper. But yourself and Lucas aren't? You're opting out of the fuel-saving strat?
Yeah, pretty much. We didn't really see it as like worthwhile and didn't think it would be that fun, because we would have had to make up about 6 laps of fuel to get it to work. So that's like fuel saving mode. I know that like the Porsche is very, very good on its fuel saving mode still. Ooh, very deep.
Very
there
deep
from
there
Higgy. He might be in a bit of trouble here in a second, even in that Ford. But yeah, like it didn't really seem like it was going to be worth it. But so Lucas is going to run all the way through the end. He's just going to do a splash and dash. Won't take tires, I don't think. Giving away trade secrets on the stream, you know how I do. But yeah, so we'll see how it plays out. I mean, right now we're looking relatively good. Yeah.
Like, if you had to pick somewhere Dink Donk's got to get this move made, where are you picking? Where are you going?
I don't. This track is so hard to overtake on, like, if you don't have a significant pace advantage. Yeah, I would be opting. I mean, the Lexus is just so mega, even compared to the Ford. So maybe coming out of Spoon, try and get it somewhere in the vicinity at 130R, and then getting alongside into the Casio chicane. That's probably where I'd like to see it. But yeah, unless he makes a mistake, it's going to be very, very tough.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I just think there's 2 drivers in OOR, one being Keys, the other one being Dink Donk. When that car is less than half a second from you, I think you're a little scared. You wonder when is he going to get it done? Not if, but when.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm going to lump you guys in here with me, but we're not in the same stratosphere as those guys at all. So, so it's just, when they're behind us, it's like, well, he's just going to get... I usually just try and let it happen just so I don't impact my own race.
But yeah, saying 130R around the outside all day long.
I don't know. Look, they could probably manage it. I tried to. Actually, we were messing around in practice, a bit impromptu earlier today, Matt, and I tried to go side by side with you through 130R, and it did not work out very, very well. Like, we didn't die.
No, we didn't. It was hilarious. I was chasing down Danzo as we were driving along, and then I noticed, again, like, the pace jump between yourself and myself. You have me in so many different spots of the track. There was a couple where I was watching the Delta, and I was quite tickled pink as I managed to hold you off, but you're a very, very astute and fast driver in your own rights, Blake. I don't think you sing your own song enough, but you had me coming out of Spoon into 130R. I saw you go for a move up the inside. I made a conscious decision not to defend, and I watched and cackled and giggled as you and I both understeered wide and tried to avoid death. It was hilarious. We managed to survive, and then I kind of managed to crisscross into the Casio triangle. Almost like we saw TikTok just go for there in the Lexus.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. I just wanted to see what it was like going through the inside. The answer is difficult.
Yes.
If
9 out of 10 dentists recommend not going too wide into 130R. Just saying.
I will just notice, actually, Slade, number 8, the lone Lamborghini, slow out of 130R. I think there was a moment there. So that's interesting in our top 5. But yeah, it's just very, very difficult here, I think, with cars that are, with drivers with similar pace. It's very, very difficult. I think you need a little bit of a mistake, and then to be very, very decisive in what you're about to do, because otherwise I think you end up with getting your nose chopped off half the time.
Good point. Very good point. As we're seeing here, speaking of nose chopped off, Chris Cooley looking to chop his off to find a way around, coming through Degner 1 into Degner 2. Very good spot to watch that Lexus just laterally slide the entire way through the corner. Benny Hignett looking almost as if to just make a slight defensive maneuver there, entering quite the midway point of the track, possibly just looking to make sure that there's no late send there from Chris Cooley. Not really a maneuver. I think Chris Cooley much prefers to actually try and tackle someone on a much faster, sort of wider section of the track, but you never know, never say never. So we watch these two go a little bit tit for tat now through Spoon. It's just interesting watching the pace and the Constantina effect change between the two of them. Chris Cooley is probably going to run a little bit wide there, but managing to tuck in nicely just behind Squires for another lap into 130R.
Yeah, Donk actually have the pace advantage through Sector 3 here. As he goes
here we
up
go.
The inside.
We called it.
Great move.
And manages to stay valid too. Woo-wee.
I think Ben kind of let that one go once he got alongside. Didn't really want to compromise too much, but yeah, well done from Cooley. I was thinking they took very different lines through Spoon. I think Cooley just opting for a bit of a slingshot almost. And just be able to get alongside with the power of the Lexus there. So really nicely done.
Slingshot me.
We're
So
seeing
is that
Phil
Slade?
Slade. That's the
Oh, no.
inside. Oh, you stops. Oh, that's good. That's good. Managing to just hold it in place there. That's a nervy little thing when you're just sliding laterally going, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop.
You realize that you're no longer in a car, you're just in like a big lump of metal, and you're like, oh my god.
It doesn't matter how much you love driving, you are a passenger princess at that moment in time.
100%. So yeah, Logan Burton just chiming in, a feather in his cap, called that one as well. So Cooley is that right? 3 seconds down the road from Hamilton?
Yeah.
Okay,
so Hamilton on notice at the moment. Oh, I can't believe that Luti's got Hamilton in a skill issue car. That's horrendous.
And they reckon Pidgey drivers buy the faster boys. That is that is a new level.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this rivalry that you guys are stoking the fires for going into this sprint season.
It's tense. It's tense. There is trash being talked just about every day of the week, and I cannot wait for the first qualifying session because the Discord will be blowing up.
Too right. We've just got Harry in chat saying WTF was that, Sladey. Harry, that was an inside curb. Is what that was. And it was not the inside curve that you would... No good for Sladey. Off into the outside wall. thankfully not too much damage, manages to keep it on track, push on.
Yeah.
Oh, ducking into the pits now is Hamo. This is a very, very short second stint, but they will now be able to go right to the end. So that's that splash and dash does the work for Chris Cooley, setting him up into second place. Now with Keys to chase down a, wouldn't worry about it too much. Only 31.37 seconds ahead.
It's just a quarter of the track. It's all right. It's fine.
Wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't worry about it.
So, you know what, though? Can I get a bit of a recap of this race? Because I've been in the car, my whole world's been from P18 to 12. What's been happening? Did Keys start from the front? Has he got all the way there from the back, as he's wont to do?
Not necessarily. So I think Keys started sitting nestled in the top 5, managed to kind of push up, got stuck a little bit in sort of position 4 for a bit, and we had this amazing battle pack that our viewers, wonderful viewers tonight, got to watch between basically position 1 through 4, as we had Squires, Hobbsy, we also had Lucas Keys, and there was someone else vying for a position in that top 4 as well that I cannot... I already said Squires, yeah. Anyway, there was someone else... Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. See, you knew exactly what was going on. But the 4 of them were vying for a position. We had a great shot down the main straight of Suzuki here, where all 4 of them were almost looking to occupy the same section of track. And I think that was about 10 laps in as well. So it's been a bit of a jostle, but we've had, some cars fall away courtesy of pit stops and everything, dropping a little bit soon. Then a couple of penalties as well, with a big moment being that Hamilton just bumped into the back end of Mitch Hobbs, spinning him off at the hairpin. But we've sort of settled down now. There's a massive gap that's formed between Lucas Keys and the rest of the field. I reckon he's come out and done a bit of a splash and dash, but it's a very long splash and dash, so I might have to eat my words there until he goes back into the pits again. But that's sort of been my view of the race. Danzo, I know you were sort of late to mid pack. Talk us through what was going on back there.
Mate, it was just being absolutely thrown down. Especially Ankin had good pace. And oh goodness, I'm gonna ruin this last name. Nippers?
Nippers. Yeah, Nippers. Or everyone just calls him Matty Nippers.
Manny Nippers.
And Matt Nipper. Everyone just calls him Nippers.
Nippers. Look, I Nippers was behind me, and then I don't know what happened. I think it was either into the chicane at the end or into turn 1, and just he was no longer present in my rearview mirror. But I'm trying to remember the name of the drivers. Look, I was just sweating as it was a battle pack of about 5 cars. I was just dripping, trying to do low 202s, high 201s to keep up. So, yeah, I was really locked in. I had the music playing in my ears, and just Hobbsy's constant groaning about a Lexus. So, I'm not a great person.
As we see Brian Kong too wide into Casio triangle. And then, Blake, you've got Lucas Marshall on the inside there. Blake, that's a bit of nervous moments for you.
Look, he's fine. He's got it.
He's fine. Wouldn't worry about it.
He's seasoned, baby. He's all good.
We all know that Ferrari's not going to win the drag race down the straight.
It might have some chops against the Porsche, but I think I want to say this 196 car was fuel saving for a 1-stop, and maybe they might be just pushing to try and get ahead of us, so they can just continue on that. But it's gonna have his work cut out for him, because Lucas is faster than me, I must say. So
yeah, that's an interesting approach. I've never had much luck, and again, this is a bit of a talent issue, but I've never had much luck fuel saving in the Fezzer. It kind of just gives you what it can give you and nothing else. It's already got a pretty good lifetime on its fuel tank, running off the good dyno juice, but yeah, I don't know. It'd be an interesting approach to see whether or not they can make it to the end now. Well, obviously now they're well within their range, but whether or not they've one-stopped it or they've got to go in again.
So I know we stopped at about 120 to go, or sorry, 120 in, or an hour 20, just to be specific, and they stopped another like 5 or so minutes after that. So they were very close to splitting it halfway. So we'll see how this plays out for them. But yeah, Kong definitely looking like it has a bit of pace. I know I don't think Johnson has been racing so much in ACC, at least over at Octane, unless I'm wrong. Someone tell me if I'm wrong. So I think maybe his pace is, maybe there's a little bit of rust for him to have shaken off. Just interestingly, Ryan Anderson, our race director, just saying in the YouTube chat that the penalty for car number 67 was reversed. So that's put a little bit of a spanner in the works.
Yeah, interesting. We'll have to see here as we're seeing Rob Roy Racing. We've got Buckerfield in the car now. I was looking way around Dan Clark. Clarkey sitting currently in the lead of the Pro-Am class. Good on you, Clarkey. In the skill issue racing car. Excellent little driver there, and has pushed up to Sprint Series. Is doing an extremely good job managing to hold off there. We're just going to get the stream back up and running again. Glenn has restarted it quickly for us as we're having a bit of Discord stuttering going on. Hopefully the YouTube is all good, but we're seeing here Rob Roy Racing now on the back of him. Dan Clark defending just a little bit, but managing to not open the door at all. But there's clearly some pace from Buckerfield vying for the Pro-Am class lead. So we'll see. We'll have to keep an eye on this battle, I reckon.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you must be rooting for the Rob Roy car, right? That's red of the enemy for you, yeah?
I mean...
Well, the enemy of my enemy, like, is my friend.
But also, I've absolutely got nothing but love for Dan Clark. Amazing driver, better guy. So happy to see him driving out here tonight. And, you know, even if he's flying the skill issue racing team, again, Blake, I'll say this to the cows come home. The Pidgeys, you know, you catch more bees with honey, you know? We're out here, we just love everyone, love everything. And if we squash skill issue racing in the process, then we're super happy about it. If they drown in the honey that we're throwing everywhere, super fine with that. But Dan Clark, amazing driver, graduated from Academy Series, incredible guy. I would also encourage everyone to reach out to him and find out about the work that he's done, raising money for orangutans out there with his brother. Just, yeah, I've got so many nice things to say about Clarkey, but amazing driver is currently trying to hold off Rob Buckerfield in this race. We've got an hour and 10 minutes to go of your duo series. It's Saturday night. I never get to say it's Saturday night. It's the weekend and I haven't even got a beer in front of me. But we're too focused here as Rob Buckerfield looks for a way around. Dan Clark catching a little bit of a slide in the Aston there. Aston loves this track, but he's gone a little bit wide around Dunlop.
Oh, no.
Now he's going to have two wide into Degnall 1. Manages to hold on together. No. Dan Clark backing out a little bit. Danzo, that's a nerve-wracking.
You know, as much as I love seeing a skill issue racing car being overtaken, did Buckerfield get that done while off the track? That's what I wonder.
Tight. It's tough.
I would love to see a replay of that because that is hard to keep that around the outside.
As if on cue. Oh no, this is a different one. We're tracking. Oh no. Oh, that's a big
Oh no. Oh.
Imagine recruiting one of the best drivers in Octane and then putting your car in the wall. It could not be me.
I guess that puts the skill issue and skill issue racing. Loopty just pop another curve. Oh, Loopty. Loopty's gone mowing again, except this time he found all dirt.
All rocks. About as good as Tiger Woods' car at the moment.
Too soon, but also absolutely. Oh man, that's really tough. We've got a bit of a debate going on in chat.
No. Oh no!
Oh, Dan Clark, hold it together. Everyone's going off. An hour and 9 minutes to go. We're losing it.
Oh, that is a slow due to the pits. That is a please don't give me a penalty.
Yeah. I mean, if we did look. Maybe it's a blessing just actually tonight, Danzo, because. You asked me with about 5 minutes to go in the race, oh, where's your braking marker for pits? And it just clocked in that I didn't have one. And then so I found it. I did it, had two goes at it. One time broke way too late, was immediately teleported back to the garage. Second time I had a crack at it, I basically rolled over the pit line at about 3.5 k's an hour.
It's all good. Chris Cooley said he would show me where the brake marker was, and I watched his stream as he came into the pits sideways at 80 kilometers an hour and just blew through the marker, sent straight to the pits.
Well, you know what they say, find the limit.
Yeah,
He's like,
I mean,
he's
you're not
there.
racing if you're not entirely on the limit.
Correct,
That's it.
correct. A bit of an update for you around that car 67 penalty. Our race director, Ryan Anderson, letting us know that upon watching the replay, felt that car 67 had reacted to the slowing car by lifting and braking in time. There just wasn't a chance to avoid the pitting car due to how close they were. This is sort of, these are just the things that happen in racing, particularly at Suzuka. This is really tough pit entry. It's absolutely something that needs to be taken into consideration when you're following closely to a car that is in front of you. And I was talking about my, the Buddhist prophecies that I liked before. Number one being it is what it is. And I think we can, call back on that. Sometimes these things just happen.
Did the Buddha really say it is what it is? Was that the words used explicitly?
It's passed down years of translations and different texts, and it's probably something. Oh my goodness! Speaking of religious figures and historical moments, though, Cooley has a DT rut roll, as Scooby-Doo would say.
Do we jinx him on the pit stop?
We might have. DT would be track limits. I reckon Chris Cooley's going out there looking for 157.8 again.
I will say that Hobbsy did hand him the car with 2 track cuts already loaded up on it. So, pretty hard to blame Ding Tonk on this one.
Yeah, it's an easy track to do it at, and especially when you're looking for pace in this little Lexus here. Unfortunately, track cards don't make good replays, so we're just going to have to move on. Watch Cooley pull into the pits, serve that drive through, and then stick it out for the remaining hour of the race. We see just what position he can get to. I reckon, having watched him, a little bit earlier today, cutting some laps in full fuel, I reckon we'd be expecting to see it around 130R. He was shooting so wide out in that turn.
Yeah, word in from Ryan again. Ryan doing the Lord's work. It's track limits at the final chicane. So just hop too much of that curb. I will say I had quite a few adventures outside track limits and actually didn't manage to pick up even one track, but it was very, very lenient for me tonight. But
it is a skill not to gain any time on a track cut,
Oh, yeah. Or you could say it's a lack of skill to not get any time. But Chris obviously really just pushing the limit there to try and make up that gap.
I am being currently spammed by Gobi on the Discord with some Skill Issue Racing logos at the moment.
Wow, that's so easy. He's cutting you deep. Dan Torpedo Madden is getting hounded by the wonders of Skill Issue Racing off chat.
Just flicking back to the chat that actually happened in the YouTube chat here. A bit of different opinions on that pit stop. You know what my opinion is, Matt? That is going to be that there's a jury of people, and sometimes you don't always like the jury's decision, but it's final, and a bunch of people made a decision. Live with it. Live with it.
The thing is, though, you said it was final. The penalty was handed out and then rescinded, so it wasn't quite final.
Look, sometimes, just like the castle, you can take it to the High Court.
Yes, yeah. The jury giveth and the jury taketh away.
Yeah. They took it a level higher. Look, I don't know. There's a team looking at it. It is difficult. Like, I see both sides that's sort of happening in the chat, but ultimately, if they attempted to avoid it, I don't know. Like, I haven't really seen it. I actually was behind the cars on track, and so I just saw them sort of go around. I was like, oh no. But yeah.
You see Gopi in the chat reminding everyone that Skill Issue Racing is for the win.
Where's the top skill issue car right now?
Yeah, still another hour, 3 minutes to go. But let's not count out
I'm in a really good mood. Extremely good, proper mood. Tim Gobe turning into a full-on geezer with a proper mood in it. All right, Tim Gobe.
I need the joke, lad.
I don't even joke, lad. It's all right, innit? So Tim Gobe in a really good mood. No better mood, though, than I reckon Jaden as he, it's funny how quickly racing can turn into Love Island moments. You watch someone just make out with a wall, but Rondinella, that's a new one for you. I don't think I've seen you squirt into a wall like that before. But bloody well done. Oh, Tim Gobe just won the Sebring 12 hours. Oh, as we just see, also a car going up the inside. Sorry, there is racing going on. Xavier Eaton going up the inside of Nippers. Is it?
Nah, other way around.
No,
Nippers
other way
with
around.
the stick
Nippers
move.
going up the inside. Sorry, in the GTR, getting a move done on Eaton.
Yeah.
Well done. Matty Nippers, or as Danzo calls him, Natty Nipperus.
Natty Nippers.
Look, boys, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm on to my 5th cup of coffee, just trying to stay awake.
My.
You are never sleeping again.
No, I'm not.
I think you might have to pull the Futurama Fry move and just get to 99, and then like move extremely fast. Everyone else will be slow. It'll be fine.
What happens on the 100th coffee, we will never know. But as we just see Tim Gobe quickly updating everyone, so he just won in an LMP2, which Geezer Tim Gobe, which is the personality he's adopted this evening, he'd like everyone to know that the LMP2 proper race car in it. Well done, thanks Gobe. He's proper mint, proper day. He's jumping out of his skin. He's so happy. What could go wrong? Paddy Johnson jumping in after 12 hours of Sebring. I reckon you'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. You'll be fine. Proper job, Gobby. Well done from your team in commentary. Yeah, you've had your celebrity moment. Now we move on back to the racing. Xavier Eaton sitting here running wide. I love the fact that Eat are his initials. Eat it, says Xavier. As he
ate that curb on the inside. Almost a bit of a Kafil Slade moment, but held on to that well.
Held on to that one. Very, very true. Oh, going down into OOR law moments, we have Goby's proper job. Well done. As we see, we're back on Lucas Marshall, your teammate here, Blake. Lucas Marshall, kind of sporting a bit of train behind him as we see the Lexus of Bishop sail around the Ferrari there of Brian Kong, who may allegedly be fuel saving, so we'll absolutely have to wait. Oh man, everyone's stretching my ability to do a geezer accident now. Gobby had the most giga double stint finish one known to man. That's a proper day for you, Gobby, in it, son. I'm going to stop now. I'm not continuing to do this. I said, at work, actually, I got a mate who's a proper scouser, and listening to her all day is in that accent. Let me tell you, scousers are on a different. Whoa, deep.
No. So this isn't Bishop. I think that might actually be Lucas Keys, but
yes.
Marshall just losing out really badly in that blue flag moment, and Kong able to get through. Damn it, Lucas! Lucas's.
I'm actually surprised. Is there a ladder anywhere on your little livery there?
I was thinking about putting a ladder over the top of the car, kind of thing.
That's good.
But didn't quite get to it. I'm not going to lie, that came together about 2 hours before the cutoff for the livery submission, so I was cutting it a little bit fine.
Well, it looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. Apparently, Gobby saying proper comp team as well, keeping me entertained. That's what we're here for. Better than I could have imagined, says Harry. Thanks, Harry. We'll take that, maybe. Anyway, we're moving on. But you could almost the broken mirror to be added to the sprint season. Will you be driving sprints this season as well, Blake?
I think so. There's a pretty.
Tell me split yellow.
There's a
Tell me split yellow.
Yeah, split yellow. I can only do split yellow. The other one's too late for me. It's proper race list, proper track list. It's got some big hitters. So I figured, look, right now I've signed up into Lamborghini. I wanted it to be a bit of a farewell tour for ACC, because I'll probably jump over to LMU after this season, depending on what the schedule looks like at Octane as well. And I started racing ACC here at Octane in the Academy Series in the Lamborghini. My first sprint season was also in the Lamborghini, and the real life Huracan has also kind of just been retired. So we'll see how that goes though. It's a bit of a weird car after all the experience that I have gained.
So
Right.
we've had an amazing little stint in commentary so far, and we'll be coming back to you in a couple of minutes. We've been dealing with a very interesting little glitch, which is basically like having miniature strokes every give or take 2 or 3 seconds, where the stream has been stuttering. So Glenn, the amazing man behind the camera, is going to restart the stream for us. So we'll be back momentarily.
I was having proper issues watching that.
Proper issues in it. It's been interesting.
Mine wasn't like too bad, but it was stuttery. But if it was really causing you grief, it's probably good that we restarted it.
I've never considered myself epileptic, but jeez. Oh my goodness.
Oh, apparently we were still live. Okay, well,
Look.
I
I don't think we said anything that bad.
that's okay. I mean, it's not like we said anything crazy, right? Not like
No terrible hot mics that I'm aware of.
well, nothing that I'm going to repeat now that we're live. So as it stands right now, we've got Lucas Keys P1 fastest lap, quite a bit ahead of Chris Cooley, who just suffered that drive-through penalty. Cooley though maintaining that second position even with Kafil Slade P8, P3. Gallagher, really great showing from these guys, well up there in the silver class. P4, Squires, Kong, Marshall, Bishop, Underwood, and Gaze rounds out your top 10. I did not realize that Glenn was going to start cycling through. It really went quick through the rest of them, but so it's been some good racing anyway. Yeah, no, look, I never bag anyone. We're super professional. Except, no, that's not true. Luty cops it, Skill Issue Racing cops it. Some people, you just gotta sometimes. But it's, it's our mates, so.
Look, you wouldn't watch it unless the commentary team got a little critical.
Oh, 100%. Look, especially me, I am very, very diplomatic. I feel like Mo and like Lexi as well, they would rip into people when they started driving really stupid. I remember Lexi, we were doing Imola for sprints, and she was like, like, what are you guys doing? You're absolutely just stupid. It's like, damn, okay.
Did you just see, is that Gallagher just running wide there? I wonder how many track cuts that car has left, because that looked quick. Running through Deca 2 there.
Who are we talking about? This black and green
that
car?
Was the, that was the black and green.
Okay, that was Eden.
Goodness. That was Eden.
This is Gallagher. I love this livery, by the way. This is so hot. It's so good. So it's a bit of a family special. I presume a bit of Irish heritage there.
I like that. It's
proper Irish.
Proper Irish, isn't it?
Proper Irish.
It's reminiscent as well. The black and white colour scheme is not actually something that we see too often out here in cars, but I do like it. It's a bit classic, bit retro-ish. Only in the sense that once upon a time the world was in black and white, which is a well-documented fact for colour TVs. But anyway, the Aston, great looking little thing. Gallagher, sport it well. So is this another pair of brothers? Yeah, Gallagher. Oh,
Yeah, it's
how
the
many
Gallagher
siblings
Bros
are in
team.
OOR? Man, original.
At least 2.
At least 2. Hey, no, there's Oh no, Clark's not a brother. There's the Rosser. We don't know if the Rossers are cousins, father and son, mother, daughter, brother, sister, brother, sister. We don't know. Michael and Callum. There's got to be relations somewhere.
I know that the Vedigers are father and son. They are not brothers.
Okay,
so
that's good.
Cross that off the list.
Roger. We know that the Banks, Ibrahim and Turab are father and son.
Yeah,
Father son.
100%.
I think I can never I think Ibrahim's the younger.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, and Turab is
the father.
Turab is, because in my head I was because we had Turab in our split last season as in Liam Hamilton commentary stint. This is how good's the delivery. I reckon that's got to be a family crest. Hey, that's
100%. It's so good. It's just really well put together. It's very profesh. I like the sort of gradient with the 4-leaf clovers on the back as well. Like it's just really nice. And that Gallagher Bros little logo that they've made that's on the roof and on the side is real clean. It's really really nice. Yeah, 100%.
It's a bit of a look of the Gallagher Bros.
Yeah, so
there it is. Oh, I
the
like
same
that
thing as well. So it's like Gallagher Bros with the 309 through the middle. Like it's very very smart, if you will.
Totally.
I don't know if you've noticed, I can actually see a 4-leaf clover in there. It might take you a while to find.
No, I'm not playing Where's Wally. You're doing this on purpose. If someone screen cap that in on stream and find a 4-leaf clover, I dare you. But I hope there's one in there. I really hope there's one in there.
If there isn't, they need one. Gobi. The trash.
Don't even joke, lad.
What that says is
Gallagher?
it must just be Gallagher in Gaelic.
Yeah,
surely.
Maybe. I don't know.
And it's pronounced the normal way. Yeah, there'd be a couple of in there, I think. But not in Gaelic and won't be anytime soon. That lion represents skill issue racing, while the snake would be Pidgeys. Just watch out because that snake's going to rear up and bite your lion sometime soon. So keep an eye on it. I bet they placed the Gallaghers. We hope so. Or someone else. I don't know. Muzz, let us know who you're referring to on the Sudoku front. Delirium hitting at 2 hours and 10 minutes of the race, 50 minutes to go. An update on your leaderboard: Paddy Johnson, fresh out of 12 hours at Sebring, with Chris Cooley only 0.4 behind, despite the drive-through. How has this crept up on us? How have we missed out on this? There was a 30-second gap at one point.
I think because we've just seen, Keys come out of the car, Johnston in, so there's a bit of a pit stop discrepancy between these two. I would obviously, Johnston's running this to the end. I'm not sure if Cooley is going to have to pit once more, so it's going to be interesting. This is going to heat up a little bit though, because Johnston obviously going to want to hold up Cooley as much as he can.
Yeah, I reckon so. She's wide. I think this is where most of Cooley's track limits are going to... That really wide run into 130. There's Dale just a bit on that very happy Lexus. Pidgey car up the inside. G'day, just sticking close to the wall. Cooley's gone in. Hobbsy's back, baby, is the racing team. The Lexus is their entry list name. Will be coming into pit, and this will be it for him. It will be not really a splash and dash, but it's definitely a faster run to the end. The square of letters and numbers, Gallagher. Yep, I'm across it. Thanks, Muzz, for catching me up. An hour and 2 hours, 10 minutes doing this got me a little bit loopy, but not quite as loopy as Jaden Rondinella, who back down the field in 15th now after that earlier incident. Cheeky segue.
Yeah, nicely done. Nicely done.
Well, are you?
So, big, lovely little standard commentator's curse. I was talking about that battle heating up, and then Cooley immediately pitted. As you know, as has to happen. But yeah, we're watching a bit of a claw back up the field here from Rondinella after meeting that wall fatefully at the exit of 130R. With Buckerfield though right at the back, and Buckerfield with a bit of pace here. It's only 3/10 right now, so Jaden on notice.
Too right. We've got a bit of a back and forth going on. Between Gobi vying for attention and Harry possibly giveth attention and taketh away. So careful and losing out on your attention. Got it, but we've got all eyes on Jaden Ron. Defending to Rob Buckerfield just behind him. This is going to be a bit interesting to watch because Rondinella has the pace over pretty well most drivers out here. But Rob Buckerfield has decided to play some games here, and catching him all the way through Sector 1 was Buckerfield. So let's see where they go.
Yeah, look, not gonna lie, we butted that one up a little bit, and I don't know if this is actually happening. I think Buckerfield's followed off a little bit here, but he's doing well to keep pace with Rondinella. I will say as well, just so we're all across it, Harry Potato in chat is David Marsh. I don't know why he has that stupid ass username. He told me the story once, but it's Marshy. So,
Marshy, let's be fair. How many? There's like a character limit or something in YouTube you get, but maybe we need in a Twitter post, like in the comments, give us the story on Harry Potato. But it's not even Harry Potato. It's Potato.
Yeah, look, I don't know. You know how much he is. He's
also, you know what kind of scares me though, right? So you know when someone adds numbers to their username, implies that there's someone else with that username.
Oh, yeah,
he's got 01 there. Who else has the username Harry Potato?
There's there's obviously a potato or Patahata one, so he had to go 01. No.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. It's a bit like somehow. So I've sported the username Slutty Bartfast for quite a long time, but when I plugged that into the very first PlayStation that I had, it spat out, "No can do. Somebody already has this." Squeeze me. So now I sport Slutty Bartfast. Anyway, we're back on here. Kafil Slade sitting in number 2 in the Lambo car. Number 8, 13 seconds now behind the Lexus of Paddy Johnson. Most cars at this point in time should be running to the end, but we've got Cooley now, who we know can get to the finish. Gallagher's just gone into the pits as well in Blake's favourite little Aston. Great looking thing, the 309. Will be going to the end now. Every other car out here. Actually, maybe we do have a couple of pit stops left. Just thinking about...
I think my car needs to pit again, I would say, with probably about 30 minutes to go. So... I would imagine there's probably still a handful.
Oh my god, hang on.
Yes, Harry Potter hater, which I mean based, but you know.
Oh, that makes way more sense. Then why does it look like Potato?
I always just read it as Harry Potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Harry Potato too.
Oh my god, Marshy. Okay, so this is probably a good... I've never seen anything other than the first Harry Potter. I never got behind it. I'm aware that will make me in the very... So I'm Harry Potter hater 02. There you go, Marshy.
Well, yeah, you could put me down as Harry Potter hater 03.
Oh, Danzo, we grew up in the same household. No way that you...
Oh, mate, I don't mind a bit of Potter.
Oh, come on. Don't even joke, lad.
Don't even joke, lad, in it.
It's proper garbage in it.
Proper garbage in it. Welcome to your Sim Rigs Duo Series Geezer stream. We've got 43 minutes, 51 seconds to go in your OOR Duo Series. I love that we get British after Cam Thistlewaite's left. He's like the biggest cheat code in all of it. He's gonna hate us. He's gonna hate us as Glenn on the cams whispering the sweet nothings. I actually think he'd get behind it. I reckon he'd love it. Never seen a single second, says Marshy. I absolutely believe that, and I love it. Gobby's gonna come in with some truth bombs here, as he says TBH missing. No, Gobby.
Come on.
You're flogging a dead horse here, son.
Yeah,
There's
100%.
nothing happening.
Don't even joke, lad.
Don't even joke, lad. Pro never coming on my TV. When you know it. As we see, we're going back to the racing. We're calling out some big gaps here. Some pit stop discrepancies as well. 24 seconds between first and second. Another 20 or so seconds between second and third. And then we got Cooley 10 seconds behind Squires there as well before things mellow out just a little bit. But the largest gap in the field that we can see is actually between 13th and 12th, as we see Eaton now a fair distance down on Nippers.
Yeah, 2 laps there. It's okay, it just ticked over to 1.
Oh, 17 seconds. God, that was dramatic, ACC.
Yeah, what's going on?
My goodness gracious
Yeah, how
me.
can it be 2 laps and then 17 seconds? It seems that Loopty's too... Like, surely Loopty's not also 2 laps. Yeah, what's going on?
ACC Deltas.
It's absolutely bungled. It's absolutely bungled.
Absolutely bungled. Jesus, proper cooked.
I'm gonna stop with that.
I gotta stop.
It's definitely not getting old or anything.
No.
Actual racing stuff happening. Really, a bit squeamish over the curves there was Brian Kong. It's given Marshall a bit of a run here. He's pulled up very, very close. Well, they looked closer until they turned, but he can't be doing too much of that.
So we have that Ferrari 296 just smashing the splitter into the curb. We have Marshall chasing it down. Doesn't quite have the power of the Mustang that we like to see around Coda, but he's getting that Porsche to do things that I don't know if we could...
What is going on? What is this? The impression.
Yankee accent.
That was good though. What the hell?
I mean, he lives over there. You gotta give it to him.
I do live here.
Yeah, wow.
I like it every day.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. It was scary. I was like, what's going on?
It's pretty good. The hardest thing about imitating the American accent is not stepping into Valley Girl, because it's so easy. So easy to go full sorority chicken. You've got to stay out of it. But we do have here Brian Kong up the inside there. Matty Nipris, we're on. Car 116 there, the GTR Nissan. Great little car. But the two of them going a little tighter to tire. But coming up now, the two little battle train here. But we're going to just watch the MRT. Interesting drive there from Matty Nipris, because we've got Benny Vintner sitting on the side. He's not a usual sponsor or sport of the, the wee old MRT Milk Racing team. But the two of them get on quite swimmingly, I think, this little race. They've been, we got some comments coming in too. Marshy just letting us know the urge to jump at the comms booth just to speak Scousers. Hi. What the hell's happening? Absolutely no idea, Blake, but we're motoring along and singing with it. And Banner, what you got for us, Blake? There's a mouse loose in the haze, says Glenn, whispering sweet nothings as we drift into delirium with 40 minutes to go. Can't tell if Blake's wheezing or not.
I absolutely am. I'm just laughing to myself. I don't know. I've got nothing for you, but
we have this little train forming up here, which is this little battle pack, which is going to be moving through the field, reminding me of the great oval racing we have here in the 50 states on the mainland. But this battle's still going on between the Ferrari and Porsche. This is it's like a replay. We've been watching this for the last 20 minutes with no one making any headway through SUZUKA as we coming down here. Don't want to catch any of that front splitter on the Ferrari here on the curb. You just want to kiss the grass. Oh, that's a little wide. That's all right. A little more brake. It's that we see the Porsche running wide here. Oh my goodness, this is just great racing. Don't get squirrely there. You got to keep the no TC, sorry, in that Porsche.
No, can't use it. You really have to drive on. Sorry, Blake. We missed what you were saying just there.
This SUZUKA.
It's good though, SUZUKA. That is how you say it. So it's SUZUKA, SUZUKA. That's we pronounce things well up in the booth here. But Duo Series Sim Rigs, brought to you by Octane Online Racing. We have these two going at it for a little while now. Dan, You were just talking us through. It's an interesting approach here that Brian Kong has to take now. We've got these guys going. It's just going to be added, I think, for the next 40 or so minutes. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Lucas Marshall has the pace. Definitely, but Brian Kong, we were talking a little bit earlier about fuel saving. What's your read now as to whether or not you think that they can make it to the end in the Ferrari?
Look, in that little European engine there, that Ferrari, you're not going to be able to save that much fuel. You're running engine map 1, and you are just going, just hammer and tongue. You are not lifting until you see checkered flag or your religious belief creator.
The deity. We love when the deity comes up.
Yeah, but man, I'm worried about these tires. How long can these Goodyears hold on? Are we going to see that Porsche just have a little bit more tires at the end where we can get some work done? But this Ferrari, it always has a little drop off here in the last 20-30 minutes of the race. You would just look at that, just seesawing, just chopping at the steering column there. Oh my goodness, you don't see this in the oval racing. This is something you only see. Sorry, I got Glenn whispering in my ear. This is only something you see in GT racing. Just loving this. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is great racing.
We resume to our regular Australian commentary. Thanks everyone for playing along.
No, this is fantastic. This is incredible. I'm loving it.
Do we have to get a poll going in the comms booth? More accents or less? Glenn's on the less side.
Less. Pirelli, Dan.
They're Pirellis.
Look, that might be the issue with skill issue racing, using the wrong rubber.
Yeah, using the wrong rubber over there in skill issue racing, or perhaps Dan's got an independent sponsor of Goodyear. Yes. Oh, goodness gracious. It's LMU that has the Goodyear sponsorship, but we're in ACC this evening, checking out the racing as we're going on. We've got Bank in there in the car 1110. Backed up is the car number 10, Roy Ankin Racing, sitting in behind BOW Racing Duos. I want W stands for here in their little team name. We'll have to inquire a little bit later. But we got this little Fezzer pack going on at the back. We've also got Damien Lonigan there as well, academy driver, esteemed academy driver, racing now in the Duo Series alongside Pidgey teammate Ben Simpson up there in 24th. Thurcolini sitting there in the car 911, the Porsche a little way down. And then we got King as well back there in 25th. Still got at least about 28, I think, cars in this race. We've had a few drop-offs, some technical issues that I saw coming up as well for a few drivers, particularly around entry list. Danzo, it's not just us. ACC seems to be having its way with a few others.
Hey, question for you here, Blake. We see Chris Cooley 6 seconds behind Squirrels, 5 seconds now. Is he getting that move done with 35 minutes to go? Overs, unders?
I think, didn't we see Cooley get past Hignett in that 67 Mustang before?
So we did.
I think, yeah, I would say with 30 minutes to go, yeah, I think that moves on.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. What I'm particularly interested now is actually a change in leadership of Pro-Am class, as we've got the Bentley of Dean Nicholson now heading up that little pack with a fair few fighting behind him. So if we look through the Pro-Am class, we've got Nicholson followed by Ankin, Everingham, Wood, Charidos, and then Lonigan down the line as well. But change in leadership, mate, this is really, really good from the Bentley. Good to see it up the front. I believe it's the only Bentley in the field this evening. Skill issue Bentley. Here it is. Let's go the Boatley, says Tim Gobe. Proper car is now coming screaming out through. Has a very, very healthy gap behind him. Gobby, can you help us out with who was the teammate there of Nicholson Bentley?
I was going to say, while we're waiting for Gob to get back, the Bank car, the BOW, I think is like Bank and Wren.
Because he's racing. Yeah, okay. So Chris Wren, they had a 25-second penalty as well before, which was that would have been a healthy amount to serve as basically a drive-through at that stage. But they seem to have come out okay, sitting there in 17th, middle of the pack. Well driven so far. But an interesting note as well, we've got Bishop up there in the Lexus lead of the silver class, followed by Underwood and the Gallagher brothers in the top 3 of their class. Coles is the...
M. Coles, I believe.
Not to be confused with W. Woolworths. But
I was about to make the same joke, but I was going to go for a Coles group rather than a Woolworth. Are you okay? Supermarket allegiances. Where do we lie?
Oh, Aldi, come on.
Yeah.
Mate,
I tell you what.
Walmart.
Well, yeah, Walmart still scares the crap out of me every time I come visit. It's too much. It's a sensory overload, and I don't even normally struggle with stuff like that. But it's just too. There's so much going on at any given point.
Yeah.
I do love Aldi, but it holds some danger for me, Blake. The problem
Is it that middle aisle?
It's that middle aisle, mate.
It's
I go in
goddamn middle aisle every time.
Goddamn middle aisle. I go in. And look around for something, like a carton of eggs and a loaf of bread, and I walk out with a trumpet. It's very, very dangerous. Makes my other half very unhappy when I come home. Random. But, anyway, it is what it is. But a couple of quick notes here as well. We're getting sidetracked again. We've got a couple of updates in the chat. Thank you so much. This helps us keep a tab on what is going on. But we've got the Bentley is actually piloted or driven by 2 academy racers. Amazing stuff there. So Nicholson, great work steering that one. So it's Nicholson and Cole's 2 academy boys. Dina Michael hounding down now. But we've got another update that Aiden Squires has been ordered to defend like a lion by Captain Benny Higgin, Biggie Piggy. He's ordered Squirrels to get in there and block the road. So we'll be interested to see how we go.
I'm just calling it now. I think there is a bit of tension between these 2 teams, between Squirrels and Chris Cooley, because after that first stint with Squirrels up the clacker of Hobbsy, they're going for blood, I think. There could be an incident.
Okay.
That's an early call. And it'll be settled in the YouTube chat.
It will be settled
as we
in the
see
YouTube chat.
Donk really pulling in some time now. Almost put in half a second through the last segment. Sector, sorry.
The debate on what's better chat, shopping or accents.
I was just getting warmed up to do a French one as well. Some
please.
kind of a disgusting medley of European accents.
I would love to see that and listen to it. It would be amazing. So if it comes out, I will not be mad, but I'm also not going to do the thing when someone's like, do an accent, and then you have to produce it on. If it happens naturally in the remaining 30 minutes, I will be a happy bloke.
Actually, parenting me into doing accents.
Just gently baiting you. Funnily enough, I learnt French in high school. I don't remember much of it, but what I do remember are the 3 phrases that they taught us very early on, which is le chat est sur la chaise, la souris est sur la table, and le singe est sur la branche, which is the cat is on the chair, the mouse is under the table, and the monkey is on the branch, which unless I go to France with all 3 of those things, I know nothing and I'm completely useless. But we've got Kafil Slady with a drive-through back on racing at hand. That's going to be a track limits drive-through, and that is going to severely impact his chase for the top 5. So now we'll be dropping back at least 1 to 2 positions after that drive-through. Got to think he'll be coming out in about 9th or 10th, depending.
And this is the one that we've turned up to see. It's on now. Squirrels v. Cooley.
Here we go.
I just cannot see this Mustang holding it off for 29 minutes. But, I don't know, if Squirrels maybe buys a couple parking tickets on the Apexes? Maybe just.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very, very difficult for Aiden. Obviously, we saw Cooley get past Biggie Higgy earlier around 130R. I think Aiden's probably slightly more informed than Biggie, but it's like, I mean, that gap's come down considerably, even in just the last couple of minutes. So it's going to be some serious work. He's going to make that Mustang very, very wide if he wants to hold back Cooley.
Yeah, dink donk on a cooling track, less and less fuel per lap in that car. It's getting light. It's getting quick. Doing a 2:01 last lap.
I just have no idea. I presume that my car needs to come in like imminently, but I have no idea what it is. So I'm just kind of like keeping an eye out because right now I'm cheering. P5, whew, what a race! But it's not going to be P5 in the end, I don't think.
Yeah, it would be very impressive if Marshall managed to hold it in there. Could be fuel saving. When was it? Whenabouts was it that you put Lucas in the car? Like,
it was over. Nah, it would be a pretty massive fuel saving effort at this point because he still had about an hour and 35 minutes, hour 40 minutes to race. So
yeah,
very difficult. He said he would consider it if he wasn't really in a battle, but like he's been around Kong like the entire time. I mean, I know they're not super close at this point, but I don't think he would have been doing so.
Yeah, too right. As we see this top three sitting in tight now. Chris Cooley on the back of Aiden Squires there. This is going to get really in the next 2 or 3 laps because Chris Cooley he's a relatively patient guy until you leave the door open. It can even just be a little bit ajar and he's going to stick his nose in and try and find a way around. Look, I don't know if Logan Burton's out there again. But my money has to be on that 130R move again. It's the biggest section of track that the Lexus is going to get some overspeed on. Running deep there, almost just showing the nose up the inside, possibly looking to psych Aiden Squires out. Doesn't get the best drive, does Squires out of the hairpin. Dink Donk, Chris Cooley going to look for possibly a move here if he can get the speed on him, but it doesn't look like he's going to have a good enough run into Spoon. He's running at the inside. Late on the brakes, but we can't see anything, so he's hung back there, just looking to maybe use a little bit more track than he's allowed there, but we'll see. Running up those incident points.
He's got track cuts in the bag now.
Track cuts in the bag, and it's not bothering him at all. He's looking now there, just trying to get a move. Aiden Squires defending, lightning to the inside he is. Interesting to see what happens here, because Aiden Squires didn't get a good line there last time. Chris Cooley going very wide. Possibly needing to concede that position.
The Stewarts will not be happy with that one.
There's some flashing going on there from Aiden Squires, not happy about the move and how wide he went. It'll be interesting to see. I think he's going to concede that position with the way that he's shifting. Yeah.
Good stuff there. Sportsman-like racing, if you will. I think, wasn't making that corner properly. So it's good to see Aiden's going to have another bite at the apple to see if he can keep Cooley behind. But I think that is a little taster of what's to come.
Yeah, big net. Exactly. All eyes.
Yeah.
All eyes on Biggie Higgy. Absolutely. What happened to defend like a lion, Higgy?
He certainly tried, and I mean it made it very, very difficult there for Cooley. He couldn't keep it on the track. If this was Bathurst, he'd be dead.
This is true. Lion did turn to house cat though right before when it got a bit sticky. It was not as violent. Mind you, actually, Blake, you're a cat person. Do you reckon a house cat versus a lion, house cat comes out on top? I've met some pretty nutso cats.
I was gonna say there's some pretty feisty cats out there. You see videos of like random animals like giving like a lot bigger animals a hard time and they just don't know what to do. So, I mean, no, but I could believe.
As the anxiety bignet, says Marshy, aka Harry Potter hater. It makes so much sense now that I know how I'm reading it. But into Spoon goes Chris Cooley, following closely behind Aiden Squires. We know how much overspeed Dink Donk Chris Cooley gets here. Be interesting to see again. Look at how much of the track they're both using.
He does that on purpose. He gives a bit of room coming into it and then tries to accelerate down the straight here.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the difference in these two drivers and this particular section of track. Oh, he manages to keep it going! This is going to be tight here coming into the Casio Triangle chicane. He gets the move done! Chris Cooley, amazing drive to get around there and keep it inside track limits. We didn't think it could be done, but look at him go.
I can hear Hobbsy through the ether. Yes, Dink Donk, yes.
Yeah.
What is that? It's a proper jump.
Well done, Chris. Well done, Chris.
He's the oldest 20-whatever-year-old ever is Mitchell Hobbs, apparently.
Exactly. 22 going on 60. We love Hobbsy. Amazing guy. Incredible admin of the OOR Academy series. Amazing guy. Gives so much of his time to building this wonderful league that we're racing in today. And it's amazing to see that he is out on track or has been out on track.
Big Net, I think that was valid.
It was valid. Yeah, valid, Marshy. I'm pretty sure it was good. Glenn, actually, can you give us a look at that overtake there? 99% sure it was valid, but let's have a quick look at the tyres of Chris Cooley on the outside of 130R there.
Yeah,
Aiden isn't flashing the headlights, so
I think that was valid. Yeah.
Yeah. It looked pretty good. It just Cooley just took a tighter line in, and Squires sort of was so far on the inside of the track that it actually gave Cooley a lot of room. Absolutely agree, Marshy, as well. That is a clip for the thermal overtake of the week material. But we're here on the Sim Rigs Duo Series tonight. No, Chris Cooley running wide at Spoon. He's going to have to concede that. What's happened there?
He's just making it interesting for himself, I think, at this point.
Wanted to have another crack.
He's like...
Was that on purpose?
Sure. I don't know. It's not like Chris to make a mistake that large. But
he doesn't really miss brake markers.
If he's going to make a mistake, he's got to Beyblade himself. He's got to do a proper job.
That's true. He's got a proper job.
Proper dog's dinner of it.
I want to see even more.
No, okay. The stewards getting in here. They agree with Ben Hignett. So we're going to see the...
What's these inside?
Now.
Wow. Wow. Excellent pick up there. Goodness gracious. Okay. Very tight.
Big Net was right. Sorry, Big Net.
Damn. Who are we to doubt? The man, the myth, the legend, Biggie Higgy. So yeah, and then that wasn't a mistake from Chris Cooley going that deep. He's just let him go through. So he's going to have to try again. Aiden doing just enough to hold on to currently P2 in this race.
That's frustrating, Dink Donk.
Yeah, I promise you, he'll have another crack.
Yeah, I do. I do believe the it's paying $1 on the dollar for Chris Cooley making another move.
And I welcome everyone back to your Saturday night, where we're going to watch for the next 21 minutes and 5 seconds Chris Cooley attempt to make an overtake at a turn that is not overtakeable. This is going to get interesting. Oh, spot! Up the inside, but there's no drive out of that. That's so tough. Oh, this is going to get so interesting.
I would be a little upset if I was Aiden. That was a bit spicy for him, but he's going to look to the inside for Spoon, get on the brakes late. Aiden. I think he just pulled out of that one. I don't think he was going to be alongside, and he knew it. That was spicy as.
Got to take another lap now to close that gap.
I just know Chris as well. He would be giggling through this. Like, I would be dripping with sweat. Like, I don't know if anyone's seen Flying High or Airplane, depending on where you grew up. But there's that scene where he's trying to land the plane. He's got like literal torrents of water running down his face. That would be me. But I just know that Chris Cooley is sitting here going too wide to the Casio triangle, not even phased.
The stewards are going to have to look at that one too.
Oh, this is insane.
Holy moly.
Exactly what he was told to do, defending like a lion.
Hayden just doing everything he can to not lose this position. I don't know if Cooley pulled out of that one a little bit as well. He did hop a lot of that curb. But God, these guys are just hammer and tong right now. We'll see. I really hope they can keep it clean because this battle has been fantastic to watch.
Going off like a frog in a sock. Biggie Higgy's going to have no fingernails left after this. He's going to chew them all down. This is immense racing, but exactly what we've come to see.
2 hours, 40 minutes, and this is what we get.
Spicy. My heart. Yeah, correct, Biggie. I don't know why the chilies are showing up as white on the
the moldy chilies.
That's like they're ghost peppers. They're extra spicy. Sorry, I'll stop. So we see here. All right, catching up again. We're gonna see another attempt. What are the Thai spicy overtakes on the menu? That's what we're here for. We're here for the mega spicy overtakes. This is having the balls to order a Vindaloo in India. You are in for the spice levels. This is it. We're coming into Spoon now. This has been a preferred spot for Keely to stick in the nose, but he's not going to do it this time. Biding his time, possibly looking for that 130R maneuver. Look at the different lines they take here through that, in between the two apexes of Spoon. Now gets a really good run out of here. Does Squires this time. Actually manages to keep a bit more distance. Yeah, not close enough is this time Ding Dong. Hertz, proud sponsor of Chris Keely Racing. Just a random little sticker there. One tiny sticker on that's definitely
both running wide.
Close. Yeah. Stir-fried basil meat with rice and egg.
Left? Oh, that's a bad line from Squirrels through the chicane. Dink Donk is going to have the drive here. Oh my. Sorry, I forgot the Mustang is just an OP car.
Oh, no. Stay off the bot waffle. Oh, goes to the mega inside. They're squeezing each other in the insides of the track here. Oh, a little bit of a collision. Oh, that's wide. Oh, pulls it back. Yeah. God, I wish I could drive like this. This is a bad spot for Lonigan to be in the Pidgey car. Coming through the S's with these two hounding. Get out of the way, Damo. You don't want to be here, mate.
Oh, no.
Oh, what has happened?
There's some flashing happening. I don't think Aiden's very happy with that. I think there's been a bit of a tag on the back.
Glenn, can we get a replay?
Was it a tag or did he hit the Pidgey car? Because the Pidgey car slowed up.
I don't know.
I think Grills tapped the back of the Pidgey car.
Oh, we're going to have to get a look at that.
Effect.
I know Glenn's getting a replay up as we go. Oh, damn, says Macron.
Yeah. While Glenn's whipping up that replay for us real quick, I've just checked in with my teammate briefly with 15 minutes to go. I hopped over, looked, and there's some kind of spectator bug happening because there was a meatball flag showing, and I was like, what happened? And he's like, I'm fine, nothing's wrong. And I was like, oh, okay. He is going to be stopping, I think, next lap, so did well to get that far, but yeah, it's... I'm going to drop a couple positions. Maybe we'll still be ahead of Gallagher, but that'll be a good result. Nonetheless.
Easy, I'm assuming no tyres, just a little bit like a splash of fuel.
Yeah, 100%.
Just going back, yeah, I think Jared's right here. If Dink Donk caused that, I believe Dink Donk would have slowed up.
Yeah, kept this battle alive. It just looked a bit odd because, like, from where Dink Donk was, sorry, my initial thought was because the car, Aiden's car, sort of slid sideways from where Dink Donk was. It feels like that classic, like, slight tap on the back that sends the rear around a little bit.
It definitely looked bad.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have no fingernails by the end of this race now, but we do have Chris Cooley is now 3 seconds up on the Mustang of Aiden Squires. Keep an eye on that. Some other gaps through the field as we look. Nippers is on the back of Gallagher as well, less than half a second. Rondinella sporting a drive-through penalty, no good. Not his race tonight. Liam Hamilton did put them in an excellent position early on. Loopty not able to back it up tonight, unfortunately, but otherwise pretty well driven. Sicanius as well is only 0.2 off the back of Loopty Rondinella. Cam Thistlewaite, a man for the commentary box, up into 14th place as well in the pro class there. Gormley has come back from an earlier incident, had a pretty bad prang much earlier in the race. But he's back now in 15th as well. Roy Ankin up there in 16th. We also heard that the other Skill Issue Racing Pro-Am car had a bit of a moment where they couldn't get their second driver in the car, Charados. A bit of a server issue there, and they've now dropped back. But your leaders in the Pro-Am class are Roy Ankin, Nick Wood, I believe it's Nick Wood or Nate Wood, sorry, and Everingham as well. And then up in the silvers, we've got Underwood followed by Gallagher, the Gallagher brothers, and Pete Chalmers there before your leaders of Pro of Paddy Johnson, Chris Cooley, and Aiden Squires.
So just interesting while we were reeling those off. That pit stop did happen that I was talking about. The 196 car also stopped. But yeah, they're coming out just where we saw. But yeah, so here's that replay we saw on board with Chris Cooley here as we come up to Dunlop.
That's very
decent. That's a great avoidance. Yes, that's a knock into the back of the blue flag car there of Lonigan.
And with the blue flag car, it has, what, 3 corners by the rules to let
three
through? So,
three marshals posts. It's not 3 corners. So
I don't think it did anything wrong.
Don't have. We'd have to sort of go back and look at how long that was, but it's a very, very unfortunate happenstance for the 6-7 car.
So.
Yeah, like the S's is a terrible place to be catching them, but yeah, just unfortunate for the Ford of Squires.
But it's a bit like going over the top of the mountain at Bathurst, where that tends to be where the faster drivers catch you because there is such a big discrepancy there. Sector 1 here at SUZUKA is no different. Sorry, Denzo.
I'm just gonna. You're gonna hate this, but we went racing. That's what happened, Toto. We went racing. What
an amazing perspective as well coming through from Glenn, the man who manages to keep track of everything all at once, all the time. I don't know how he does it, but he's amazing at what he does. Matty Nipris as well, car 116, had that big prang, if you remember, off the very start of the race, and got a penalty out of it as well, and up in 9th. So amazing drive from Nippers and Benny Vintner as well. Great work there. Got to think that they're really laying down the law now and finish as best as they can. Which starts with making a move on Gallagher as well.
Yeah, a bit of a wiggle to the inside, showing in the mirrors of Gallagher, letting him know he's there. I think there's definitely a bit of pace here for that MRT car. Really lovely looking livery. I love that silver and red. So these two best in class, best in show, if you will, going hammer and tong right now. Just coming through the S's nice and tight there. For Nippers, Gallagher got his work cut out for him. One of the Gallaghers, that is, as they sling it around Dunlop. Just shy of 10 minutes to go here in the final stage of the race. Jaden Ronanella with another drive-through. I think we touched on that, but serving that now. It's been one to forget for the old Luti.
Yeah, no good. SUZUKA, like many tracks, it takes no prisoners as we watch. Nippers just run a little bit wide there. I think I'm not used to seeing him in red GTR, in a GTR at all. He's in sort of a bright white and yellow MRT AMG, I think he's normally in. So a bit interesting seeing him in the GTR, but it does seem to be working. We've also just had that incident with car 67, so that is Squires, and the 455 of Damien Lonigan has been green flagged with the blue flag car. So essentially we move on, play on, if you like, if you're an AFL fan. Nothing to see here, we carry on. Those are the rules of racing.
Yeah, we go racing. Would you believe?
We go racing.
We go racing.
We see here.
Let's go
Matty
racing.
Nippers. Let's go racing. Matty Nippers looking the way around. Still nothing there. Coming into. Oh, so deep. Holy. Holy. Glenn, if you're going to film stuff like that, man, give us a warning. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that.
Glenn yelped in the booth. Like, he saw it coming, I think, before we did, and I was like, oh my god.
So Glenn yelped, squealed, and it sounded like you... Glenn, we can't always make out sounds in the background, but it did sound like you shot back from your desk. Like you were avoiding the car of Nippers. I'm not repeating what Glenn said on screen for fear of retribution, but let it be known that Glenn almost had an accident because of the almost accident on screen.
Yeah, it's very ambitious there from Nippers. I don't know, just maybe got a bit distracted, missed that braking mark because they were not really in the realm. They were not in the same court.
It's the pedal on the left. That's the big one, the brake one. Hit that as hard as you can.
Put the clutch in instead and just rolled.
That's from another postcode. That was another continent that one came from. You just missed it? Oh. That is, I tell you what, say what you will, amazing avoidance from Matty there. Holy cow.
Both of them as well, because, I mean, Gallagher's getting to the point of turn-in. So
yeah,
it was very, very lucky for both of them that they were both so aware, particularly as we come to the final stages of the race. You know, he's starting to get tired. So crazy stuff there.
As we see,
Oh, wow.
Gaze only 0.3 off Chalmers and Slade, a second back from Underwood. Still some cars jostling here in the closing minutes of this race.
Yeah, 8 minutes 40 seconds to go. This has been your Saturday Night Duo Series, the first race of 4. Next up will be at the Nordschleifer. Massive long track. That will be a tough one to navigate. Lots of drivers will be driving that for probably the first time as history. After that will be followed up by Mizuno a little bit later on. And then also, last race of this little Duo Series will be Kyalami. Class favourite for some. I've also just noticed that Matt Nipris only has 1 T. It's a bit scary. What happened to the second one? Must have lost it in the early years. Matty, there is a support group for Matts that have lost their second T, so come chat. So we can find it.
There's Matts to go outside the front door, and there's Matts that are your mates. So
sometimes you can be both.
Sometimes you can be both, but I don't know which one I want to be.
Yeah. Well, touching on what you're saying about the rest of the roster for this Duo Series, I am one of those that has not actually touched the Nordschleifer at all.
Yeah.
We did do the community event in Lexus's a little while back with the unsavory character of Craig Boone, I think it was, making an appearance and causing a humongous ruckus that goes down in OOR lore. But it's going to be a bit difficult. I think trying to learn that one. It's like it's a bit of a challenge, like 8 and a bit minute track. Like there's so many different sections to learn.
Yeah, and my only knowledge of it is basically watching Jimmy Bennett videos on YouTube. So it's going to be interesting to see how Danzo and I navigate it. But what'll be more interesting to see is how Danzo and I. So stay tuned.
You just cut out there, Matt, but I think you're in the same thinking as I am, which is the most important thing we need to learn is which driver joins first.
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, you guys should probably get the joining procedure down pat first before you think about the race. But Rob Underwood here coming under fire from Kafil Slade in that the singular Lamborghini of this race. Those guys doing quite well. Looking just to pit the leading silver car here. A little bit further down, you got Kong, my teammate Lucas Marshall, falling off the back there of Kong. I've just been keeping an eye on that. Would you believe, as it's my car, with that Gallagher and Niparis battle a little bit further down the road, about 7 seconds from Marshall. So still a little bit to play for here up at the top with just under 6 minutes to go.
Brent knows the name of every corner. Yeah, if I end up commentating any of that, that's not going to be me. I know the flagship, and that's about it. So
there's one called the Carousel. I know
Carousel. I know Foxhole, big long straight down the hill. I know the GP circuit. That helps me for first minute and a half of the lap. As for the rest of us, yeah.
I need a co-driver. I've said this before. We need to get maybe we do a little promo video for OOR. We'll have I can have a co-driver. There'll be 6 left, 5 right.
We kind of joke, right? But when I did a community event a little while ago with OOR, and I actually had Hobbsy take me through the track, and he drove in front of me. And it wasn't helpful because he basically, as we just watch both of these boys run a little bit wide through Spoon, getting to the end of their stint, tyres hurting. Particularly, I know in the Aston around this time, the tyres start to get a little bit unfriendly. But yeah, Hobbsy drove in front of me, and it was basically brake here, gas here. As we see, Matty Nippers diving to the inside, looking for a way around, can't get it done. It's such a nerve-wracking point, but he's faked out. And we've actually had Gallagher go really wide there as Matty Nippers makes a move into the Casio triangle, getting ahead in the late stages of this race. That's a great move. It just shows you how much mental prowess can actually go into putting a move on someone without actually putting a move on. Sort of fake them out, make them think that you're going to do something, and get it done. Excellent, great work.
Yeah, just jumping back up here, we're looking at that Underwood and Slade battle now after that Nippers move was made. God, these guys, it's very, very close. As we've just got a handful of laps to go here. We'll see if Slade can get something done. Rob Underwood, though, has just been such a star lately. He has improved so much. So I'd love to see him keep that position if possible, but I know Slade isn't going to let this one go easily. It's a little shallow there on the exit from Kafil. Slade. Hopefully Underwood can stretch his legs in that Lexus just a little bit as it absolutely screams down this section. I think this is a 200R actually, as they just come into Spoon. Still nip and tuck. Slade just very tight under the wing here, a bit faster through there, that downforce that the Lamborghini affords him, but I think the Lexus now going to stretch its legs as we make the run up to 130R.
This blue flag at the Pidgey car might actually put a little twist in it.
Oh my god. I hope they
could stay in front till T1. Oh no, as Slade runs wide, and that might be the end of it, I think. Just pulling out to a second or two now. Car moves over. That might be the end of that battle, I think. There's a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, Slade definitely had some pace there, and you don't lose too much if you just, lead foot off the track. But if you've got those speed tokens to spare, but you can honestly get away with it pretty okay. So yeah, we do see Slade actually, still very, very close to the back of Underwood, so it's not done just yet, but it's going to have to happen quick and fast. Slade wants this.
Slade is angry. Just soaring on it. He has pulled that back. Lift, and then gas. Gas all the way. Run it wide, then back on the inside. You can't do anything about that Lexus power, can you?
Yeah, hard to combat, hey? Hard to combat. It's
like following a Mustang through Mount Panorama. You're just not going to be able to do anything about it.
You just sit down, shut up, and hold on, right? Yeah, but the Lambo, really good through this section of track, is managing to hold on here. Slady, really good drive. But again, Underwood, I swear when I started getting into watching more of the sprint races, Underwood was never this high up. He was never this far up the ladder, but he's done an incredible job to just put down the times and really continue to be as good as he is today. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting battle that we watched at the end now.
Yeah, 100%. As I was touching on it, he's definitely jumped up a few ranks in the last year or so, and he's finding himself at the pointy end of a lot more races at this point. But just listen to this Lamborghini scream as it comes down up to 130. I absolutely love the sound of this car. It's so good. So sad they're doing away with that V10. Little bit wide there from Slady. I think that's not going to be quite valid. They're going to have where are our leaders? They're just coming across now, so this is going to be the last lap, I believe.
Oh wow, hang on, now what a run through the Casio triangle chicane there from Slady. This could get really interesting now coming into the last lap.
Yeah, I think if he can hold on here, there's definitely something to be had. There's a little bit of a jink to the inside, but it's just for show. There's nothing there yet, just yet. You just have to bear with us a little bit, folks. We're having a little bit of that issue again. We've still got pictures, but it's a little bit hard to see. But we're obviously not going to restart it as we've got less, this is the last lap. So just bear with us, please. And
if you're Slade, you're waiting till Sector 3. He's been so quick through there and been all over the back of this Lexus. You just got to hold on. Wait till 130R. And maybe
I don't know. The Lexus is just so much faster, though, in a straight line. Ideally, it's not going to happen because he's not close enough, but I actually think I'd want to get alongside at this hairpin. But it's, just not quite the run that he needs. Because it definitely can be done if you get a good exit and they make a bit of a mistake. You see just that closing power that the Lamborghini has, but the Lexus just so much better in a straight line.
Yeah, look at how far away he pulls. It's almost out of reach now unless major happens here into Spoon. Look at how good the Lambo is under brakes. Makes up a lot of room on the... We do have a car up ahead as well of these two. It is a blue flagger, so we'll see whether or not that gets involved. But we've got these two now
has to hold on.
Under Panasonic, under Dunlop, into 130R. The two of them It's too far away. Got to hold on, does Rob. Come on. Stay true. Slaney going miles wide. Miles wide. We're about to watch.
He's got Slade! He's got him! Slade! Oh my god, is he going to hold on? Is that going to advantage off the track?
Oh, hang on.
He's not happy about that. Underwood holding
that's
it.
interesting.
No.
Glenn, can we get a quick replay of that, if that's all right?
Please.
Literally that line. I know we're at the end of the race. I know everything's going on all at once, and you put up our fancy 2-camera view, which is incredible. Well done to Patrick Johnson for winning that, but we need to see that last little move because wide he went, but then almost looked like Slady got cut off there a little bit.
Yeah, it's the rejoin. It's the advantage of the track potentially, allegedly is the big asterisk here. That was very, very spicy.
I'm saying he has to give it back.
All the pressure mounting there for Rob Underwood, so tough. Like we said, you just can't make a mistake. You've got to get to the end, but also when someone's that close behind you.
Well, we've just said the stewards have made a very, very quick call, so we'll watch this play out, but there is a 5-second penalty for an unsafe rejoin.
Oh, I would.
Well, okay, so if we hadn't have been on board, with Slady, we wouldn't have seen. He definitely had to lift and brake to make that, or to avoid collision.
Yeah.
So if you watch the rear of him here, has to come and smashes the brakes there to avoid a collision.
Yeah. I think that's the right call.
Good call for the stewards.
Look,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Either
Really
way,
tough.
Advantage
Doesn't
off the
take
track
away.
or
Yeah.
unsafe rejoin. I think the right decision's been made with Slade.
Like if that was a sand trap, like a full-on sand trap, like you might not even get out of that. So yeah, I think
correct.
that's the right call. Unfortunate for Rob Underwood, he did a really valiant job there, but Slade does just pip him in the end for P4. Yeah, there you go. As always, the celebratory donuts. But for the moment, it's going to be Patrick Johnson and Chris Cooley taking out the win there in that Lexus, the number 72. They are not teammates. Sorry, Patrick Johnson and Lucas Keys. Woo. Been a long one. And then it's going to be Chris Cooley and Mitchell Hobbs, I would believe. But Glenn is going to get us our proper results in just a second. So Patrick Johnson, Lucas Keys, Chris Cooley, Mitch Hobbs, Aiden Squires, Ben Hignett, great race from those two as well. Slady and Steve Tyre getting that P4 after what we just saw. Rob Underwood and David Wood, the logging team apparently, and P5 for your silver class. It's Underwood, the Gallagher brothers, and then Pete Chalmers and Pete Viney. Shout out to Sacanius as well. I know they had a bit of and Bishop, they had a bit of a rough one, but they did well to pull through there. In Pro-Am, it's going to be Roy Ankin and Rob Buckerfield from Nicholson and Coles. Everingham and Price Davies, P3. Nice result there for Nicholson and Coles out of the academy. Great stuff for those guys.
Absolutely. D Madden, M Madden finishing 7th and 10th somehow.
like D Madden was M Madden and M Madden was D Madden.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you guys really botched that big time.
Oh, you have no idea how hard we botched that.
Yeah, I know Breno as well, and Shona just suffering the same fate with a bit of a botched entry too.
Also, Benny V suffering that fate as well.
Oh.
Actually, that's very interesting. So down the bottom, we're seeing all of the entry list mishaps. Because I didn't see Benny Vintner in the car at all. I wonder whether something went awry there.
Yeah, I believe he had a camera issue in the car, and then he left the game as player 1. He ended up player 2 somehow, left the game, rejoined, and it was a no bueno.
Oh, wow. Bit of a mare on the entry list at ACC. It makes me... I'm sad, but I'm also glad it wasn't just us. But what a night of racing. We had some amazing moments all the way through. We had complete moments of total commentary delirium. But we also had some incredible moments of racing at pretty much every single hour through the race. So thanks to everyone, particularly the stewards tonight for jumping in and helping out. Massive thanks to Glenn manning the cameras, Ryan Anderson for the race direction. everyone for showing up for the very first of the season 4 of Duo Series, with 3 more races to go, coming back at you in just a couple of weeks from the Nordschleife. Massive shout out to Cam for jumping in the comms early with me as well. Blake, huge thanks for jumping in after your stint. Dan, thanks as always. It was great to be back in the booth with you. And a massive call out to everyone in OOR. If you think commentary sounds like fun, it is. If you'd like to jump in and help out the team and come have a bit of a chin wag with us, please reach out and let us know. Same goes for any stewarding volunteers as well. OOR is a volunteer-led organisation. Need more volunteers just like you. This is turning into a military advertisement, and I'm going to move away from it. But thank you everyone for dialing in.
If you want to come be geezer on stream, you can do it. We'll make it happen.
You want a proper way to spend your night? Come on down to the stream.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. In it, bruv.
Massive thanks to Simrigs for sponsoring tonight. We really appreciate their support. We'll leave you to your Saturday. It's a late one, but we had some great driving there. Well done to everyone. That has been Duo Series at SUZUKA with Octane Online Racing.
Ciao.
Ciao.